Okay. When we last left off, or rather, previously, Hearthvine 1983. A high-speed chase through the highways of Hearth. Group recovering from wounds on piles and heaps of trash in the back of a commandeered dump truck. As you got to know your rescued workers, this security guard and scientist that had come up from a secret facility underneath Hearthvine's mall, you were waylaid by a series of highwaymen, only updated to modern times, as vehicles circled in and tried to take prey of what they viewed to be probable cover. I mean, after all, why would a dump truck be driving through the streets of a city that's currently on lockdown, as pockets of resistance and fighting still go off throughout the city, even in these very early hours of the morning? Several RPG blasts tearing apart the abomination until he's nothing more than an eyeball and a scant few pieces of very thin, fibrous, tentacled limbs. You manage to fight back against these marauders, and eventually burst through into a safer, quieter district off of the highway. As you rattled closer to the block that Barney Calhoun had mentioned, you approached Paladin Streetway, where Barney's apartment would offer not only a place of respite, but a key card would be able to give you access to what would end up being an even more locked ward of the city. Even this street, most intents and purposes, with a few shopping centers and a couple of specialized shops, is still cordoned off by a light police presence. Now wishing to draw attention to yourselves, Barney agrees to take two of you through the security checkpoints with him. But the rest of you are forced to find an alternative map, which you do through some keen questioning of a homeless man on the corner who, through a few slick words from Babette, you managed to ascertain is actually a pair of eyes for one of the local gangs, who he says runs a club, a nightclub right on the corner known as Leviathan. Which, coincidentally enough, also has access to the apartment complex that spans the second story of most of these buildings. As you sneak through the alleyways to not have the police presence drawn towards you, you finally manage to make your way up to the door. camera in the corner scries you, a slight little red dot leaping on as it becomes aware of your presence. And a voice questions you about who you are. Thankfully, with a nice little drop of Thief's Cant, the door clicks and unlocks. As you step in through the doorway, you find yourselves in a back storage facility. Though, based off of what you just stepped into, quickly looking around, you can see that this doesn't look like the kitchens of a nightclub. But for one lone burner off in the corner, the rest of these look like pretty heavy-duty crates. You see a few medical supplies, what look to be canisters, which you actually had to step over quite a few of them. And in that back room that you had walked in, you had noticed more of them as well, just large metal canisters. A few of them rattle underneath your feet as you step into this room. And oops, forgot to move them in here. You see a halfling woman in a sort of kitchen smock, but it's got what looks to be a gun of some sort, held down at the hip with two hands and pointed right towards you. She says, "All right, so you're off the streets. Those slick words will get you that far. But I'm gonna need a name if I'm gonna let you any further in here."
Shit, I think that this is a character issue with Rachel. I forgot to give my parents' names. She's gonna use her mom's name. Her mom's name is now Lena. Okay. I'm Lena.
Give me a deception check.
$21.
22.
Oh.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh.
Hi. What is that? Your given name? Take a name. Or a working name.
A working name. I don't
What
know
sort of
exactly
work?
who. Oh. This and that. I'm freelance mostly.
Freelance. As in, you work for yourself. No ties.
What's her tone when
Be
she's
one of
saying?
those
Sorry.
Vox, would ya? You wouldn't be one of those Vox, would ya?
No, they couldn't afford me.
Eliza chuckles.
See as takes the shotgun that had been held ready at their hip and just leans it up across their shoulder. All right, freelancer Lena. If Fox can't afford you, you're the boss. Might have some work for you.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
I'm Oh.
She's not waiting.
Hanu is kind of flanking Lib and just crossing her arms, pushing them out in a way that she looks like she's a lot stronger than she is. Gives a very controlled scowl.
She said, wait right here.
I misheard that. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're fine. I figured as much. I figured you weren't just boldly ignoring her request.
But does what she wants.
The door
Think?
opens and it's just thundering loud music. Give me a perception check. Anybody that's looking around in that period of time can give me perceptions or investigation checks.
I'll do investigation.
Eliza.
23.
I'll
Okay.
see if I can hear anything specific.
Jack, you notice that the canisters actually have notation on them that seems to imply like their chemical notations, specifically things that chemists, or specifically chemists that deal with things that interact with biology, which is why you notice it, would notate with. You'd if you'd want to try and ascertain what that is, you could give me an Arcana check.
Oh boy.
Eliza, looking around, you can tell that these crates are heavy duty, and as you actually manage to find one that's already been partially opened ajar, you're able to see that inside is quite a lot of ammunition. As well, in the corner, you notice that there. Ooh, that is. I don't know why she went all the way over there. You notice that there appears to be a very large weapon. Probably very similar to the weapons that were being shot at you guys while you were on the dump trucks. Some sort of rocket-propelled weapon.
Eliza's
You don't see ammunition for it, but the fact that it's on top of those boxes, you think that the ammunition is probably inside of the boxes.
Eliza's immediately gonna look at Hanu and see if she knows it.
She's been perception 14 all the way over here, so I don't think so.
Okay.
You'd be able to notice her notice.
Oh, and then I'll be cocking her head.
Okay. Eliza's also gonna walk over to Babs and be like, should I tell Hanu about the giant gun over there?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so, but...
You can tell that there's enough ammunition here to stock a small alarm. You could probably outfit at least 60 to 100 people with the ammunition. CAC, with that Arcana, you can tell that the chemicals in there are meant to interact with human physiology. You think that it probably is something that boosts the senses in some sort of way. But in those doses, like it would be an aerosol that you would be breathing in somehow, and it affects the senses somehow in a positive way. Well, depending on how you view that, debilitating. It seems to power people up. Very likely, might be similar to what you had seen in the canisters that were attached to the back of Jack.
Oh.
All four.
Ah.
This is just me, but are there any scrying devices in this room?
Looking around, Leo, you were also looking for that with your check, weren't you?
Yeah, I was looking for cameras.
You've got a 14, and she got a 14. You do not see any cameras.
Mm.
Gotcha. Anything magical in here?
Looking at it, you
Looks like-
can see that there are magical locks on these containers back here.
Okay,
Blue ones as well.
she's gonna
Packets.
nudge over to Babette with the empty med kit that she has and be like, mind if you can replace this one?
Don't necessarily want to overstay our welcome with these people.
Alright, well, just keep it on you then.
The door opens. Loud music just comes blaring through, and you hear as they mouth something. Can't even hear them over the music, and they jerk a thumb behind them, and they start walking down the bar.
Was I able to see what it was that she mouthed?
Do you have observant?
No.
No. Hoenn does.
Technically does.
Okay.
And
Guess- Just don't keep them waiting.
Indeed. Babette's gonna confidently, like, just casually, you know, with that air of confidence of, I don't give a fuck, walk into the room. And then just kind of like lean up against the table.
looking through this, you can automatically identify who the boss probably is. It's this lab dressed guy right here. Looking around, most of these tables are filled. There aren't tokens there for them because I didn't put tokens for the mooks that are in here. But there are people walking up and back from the bar. This place is actually pretty lively right now. As you walk in, pretty much every table is filled. All around the outside portion, though, you can see that there are people sitting on 3 different levels of this, as they are each of those strips that you see between there are actually a separate level.
Okay.
You are now on the bottom floor of the 4-story building. You didn't even realize, really, but you had been going down a bit of a slopish area when you went down through the alleyway right here. It's been kind of like a loading dock area. And so you pretty much just went in through the basement.
Okay. And what is this thing?
There you can see what looks to be an icon inlaid into the floor out of some sort of very nice like onyx. It's a very rich looking stone. It's raised just a little bit, but not a whole lot. And it's in some sort of shape that looks like, I don't know, it could be some sort of tentacle squid-like creature. So
Can I
obviously an artistic one. Hanu, you can make me a religion check.
Okay.
With advantage.
I will guidance that.
Oh, 19.
19.
You would be able to determine that is probably depicting Maiko, actually.
Oh fuck.
She'll flex so she looks more intimidating and scowl even further.
Okay. You approach.
She'll also mumble that to her under her breath to Zale. It's Micah.
Y'all sit somewhere else.
So all of these tables in the center have people at them?
These they all have people at them, but you do see some that are like underneath the balcony area
Mhm.
that are or not with enough
Okay.
seats for all of you. Some of y'all would stick around it.
Nothing.
And
but fire.
how's the boss looking? Like, is he looking at us or?
He's watching you guys as you walk in. He's
He's
just,
what?
Like he's not saying anything. He's not saying anything, but he is watching you guys with a very leveled eyes.
And where did the halfling woman go?
She went right behind the bar, and she seemed to be
Oh, okay.
taking drink.
Oh, I see her now. Then yeah, Bet would kind of go to the halfling woman and be like, kind of point over to the boss and, you wanted me to go talk to him?
Yeah, he said to go and give him a talk. He shouts over the music.
Yeah. I'm just not gonna shout because, people in my house,
Yeah.
but...
Oh, good.
Okay. I will... So Babette's gonna kind of walk over to him, size him up, try and get a read on, like, is he... What's he like, you know?
I'll give you some guidance before you leave. Good pat on the back.
Cool.
And a firm shoulder grab. And she goes to the bar, sits up
Yeah,
against it.
Zell's kind of at the bar sitting there, kind of in that state where he's like on passive alert. Like he's ready in case something happens, but he's kind of casually sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception check. You can give me an insight check for that.
Alright. Perception.
Eliza's also watching very closely.
That's really good.
Oh, and I got that
Looking around,
D4.
there's a lot of people in here. It's hard to tell even which ones are, people that are just here and people that are, part of the gang. It'd be hard to tell.
Yeah.
15.
Alright. You would be able to see that, based off of the way he dresses, the way he's sitting, the guy that's very he's ostentatious. The guy next to him looks fairly high class, right? But you can tell of the two of them, this is the guy that he's used to being king of the block, and doesn't really seem to have. It's hard to tell what he thinks of you, though.
Okay.
Which you think is something to practice at.
Which I think is something what?
He's probably well practiced at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so she's just gonna walk up, sit down if he doesn't make any moves to be like, don't fucking do that. And you wanted to talk?
Alright. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Or 9. 24.
You sit down like you own the place.
I'm just
kill
passing
most
through.
people with that kind of balls, but you know what? Something tells me I should listen. What brings you to my neck of the woods?
We're actually just passing through. This was the kind of place that I felt more comfortable passing through. We just need to get to the apartment next door.
Susan tells me you're here on business.
That I am.
Well, I'm certain you understand that there are ways things work. You want to do business in my neck of the woods. Type of business that got you skulking through alleyways hiding from the cops. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, up on this block, it isn't in my pocket.
Sorry, could you repeat that last bit again?
Here, there isn't a cop on this block. It isn't in my pocket. I could have
I
them in
figured.
here round with a snap of my fingers.
I'm sure that you could. But that
I'm
seems like a
still
waste
waiting
of
to hear
resources.
why I shouldn't. And I'm still waiting to hear why I shouldn't.
Because we're literally going to be in and out. We didn't actually intend to be encroaching on your territory. It's just an item we need to procure. Happens to be here. We will be gone within the hour.
Seems pretty risky to me.
That's why I
Moving
get
out
paid the
into
big
while there's
money.
war going on. Well, if you're making money on my block, then I need my slice of the pie.
I figured it would come to this. And where is the button? She's just gonna take out like
Need,
20
by the way, one.
what?
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Oh, she was just gonna take out like 20 platinum and just kind of put it on the This is what I have on me.
And as you put it on the table, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I will roll my 8 damage. Or die 8.
Uh,
Want
thank
to
God.
roll it?
I just stepped
What?
away for a moment. What's going on?
I'm making a wisdom
At the
saving
bar,
throw.
you can't even hear them talking. It's
Okay.
way too loud in here for you to know.
Alright. So,
Um,
as that is going on, can I figure out if there's any other Akuji imagery on here, or that one drink that gives people mind reading? Michael's
We'll get
right
back
there?
to that.
Okay.
Guy looks to the old man in the suit next to him as your coin touches the table. He looks right at the guy next to him. The guy looks at him. You get the very distinct feeling that communication is happening, but silently.
Mm.
And he goes, Oh, you're gonna have to do better than that. You know, I knew there was something special about you. In fucking Co's place. And you've gotta fuck it in.
I missed that last line, sorry.
In Goodwin fucking Co's place.
Get ready
And
for
you've
the
gotta fuck it in.
vibe.
You weren't kidding about making the big bucks. I'm afraid we need platinum. I ain't gonna cut it. Lucky for you, I don't care much for money. No, I'm telling the truth, believe it or not. Money? Nah. Wanna know what I care for? See, the
Enlighten
real
me.
reason people want money is they think money will buy them power. Money don't buy you power. Money lets you pay for people that have power. Me? No. I prefer real power. A high caliber kind. He plops his fucking big ass gun down on the table.
While this is happening, would Eliza have noticed that it was escalating? Like, would she have been able...
You can give me an insight check. You can also give me a perception check while you're at it. No. Guy just looks
Well-
like a boisterous.
Well, remember, she's
And
in
it's
under a
loud
warrant.
as hell in here.
No,
It
that's
is
only
so
if she's doing her insightful fighting
No,
thing.
just any
Fighting.
insight check.
No,
No.
that's only for deception. To figure out if deception.
No, it's for insight as well.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be any insight check.
I think so.
Yeah, it's
No, I
negated
think it's
over on any
perception.
intention where the person might be lying. So if it's a thing of him lying, but it's not, it's just him trying to do the general.
He's telling the
read,
truth.
not a specific one.
Gotcha.
Okay, wait, so I don't...
And no, you don't. He just looks like a boisterous person. You know, he's a big guy. You know, stands about 8, almost 9 feet tall. Big old person.
Can
Hair,
we assume...
tiefling, horns coming out of his head. He's the biggest fucking tiefling you've ever seen. He's probably half tiefling, half Goliath.
Okay. If... I don't know if this is allowed because I didn't say it before, but, like, Eliza would have been tensed up and, like, ready to fight. Like,
Yeah, yep.
so
I mean, y'all are all tense, I'm assuming.
he's ready.
But
Just in case it goes south.
preferably the high caliber kind. And you know what? I've always wanted one of those fucking rocket platforms they've got. You got one of those things, and no aircraft will come even close to where you're at. I don't know if you've seen the helicopters they've got flying around. But type of firepower most of us can't even get close to. And trust me, I have a lot of firepower. But if I got one of those platforms, I wouldn't have to worry about that shit ever again. And it just so happens they got one of those things sitting up all nice and neat on Pridwin Co's floating island.
Well, that sounds convenient for you then, doesn't it?
seems like a reasonable business arrangement to me. I let you pass through my turf without any issue. Actually, I take that back. I'll give you the fucking red carpet all the way to wherever the fuck you're trying to get to. I'll have the cops pull around and give you a lift. I want that platform.
Well, if you can make it easier for us to get there, I don't see why we can't do business.
I knew I was gonna like you. He looks over. Gives a little nod to the bald guy next to him. He like closes his eyes for a moment. I'm gonna send my girl Raina with you. She's a mean one. You won't want to double cross that broad. Hell, even I'm scared of them. But even the deadliest creatures can be put on a leash. Keep that in mind if you think about double crossing me. As you see a figure lean up over the railing, he kind of looks up at him. He jerks his head over towards your direction, and her eyes level with you. My girl Raina. She'll lead you where you need to go.
Well, thank you kindly. I'll go gather my people. And then,
Briefly makes her way down a couple of stairs and stuff.
yeah, and then Babette's gonna go head back over to the group. And just kind of give a real quick rundown of, okay, apparently we're stealing a rocket platform for these people when we get to Pridwin's place, but they're gonna get us in there.
They willing to give us any arms to deal with actually going inside there? Because we're kind of underpowered at this point.
Seems like the person's coming along with us. That
Yes,
chick.
we've got somebody to aid us.
One
Did
person
he explain
against...
how we're supposed to get the rocket platform down?
I figured we could probably improvise. She might have an idea. And Babette just kind of like points her face at the woman.
Zal starts kind of like the look of like calculating in his head. We'll figure out when we get there.
So are we supposed to just have them go up ahead as a human shield, or us act like a human shield for her?
It's more since, I mean, from what you just told us, more since we're cooperating as business partners and catching the right, Babette.
That would be it.
Yeah. So it's more the case, as long as we get this rocket platform for them, they'll at least be working with us.
She'll lean in.
Correct.
Listen, I'm not afraid to bring this whole place down. You'll just wake up. Nothing has happened. What are the repercussions? Our actions are going to have grave consequences.
Yeah.
I mean,
By the way, there was no mind reading
Was it?
drink on the menu. No other iconography, none of the naming, nothing else here indicates that. It's just that thing.
I would.
So,
I mean,
is this... Have you seen anything radiating from here? I'm just curious.
I'm just looking at the.
Not magical.
No,
Nothing in here really reads as magical other than the lights.
No, it's not magical. But if that is what I think it is, and who it is, then this club is definitely interesting.
Yeah.
But the problem is, as much, it's very difficult. I definitely understand where you're coming from, Hanu. don't know what will happen when we give them this rocket platform, but as a person who's trying to get everybody else here alive, I don't want to risk picking a fight with them.
Yeah, so we just destroy one timeline to save ours. I get that.
Sometimes things are like this. Necessary sacrifices are needed.
Yeah, she doesn't look any like distraught over that. She's just saying this out loud to her head to just cement.
I mean,
okay, so this is what we're doing.
yeah.
Gotcha. Alright.
Zell, you see Zell, he doesn't like it, but he knows this is a necessary thing.
She's come across the same thing too, so
So it's kind of the similar mindset we're having. So
gives a big sigh. Alright.
hey, makes it safe us to get in there.
He seems like the kind of guy who'd figure out a way to get it one way or another.
Yeah. Best he helps us get there
Of course.
for the group. And get back to our timeline.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we can end up saving all of these timelines.
Some
With the
some are doing the bell as we saw before.
yeah, so it's more or less we got to save the ones that aren't right here drowning and have I don't know chains underneath.
Yeah.
It's hard, but it's nature.
So it is very. So do we accept it then? Can we pass through and
It's the quietest and quickest way to get us out of here, I think.
And they're not willing
Alright.
to give us anything else except just one person, huh?
well, I mean, they're giving us a way in past the hospital districts through all the police and everything, so
Okay.
I mean, that's their other gift to us, I can say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so yeah, let's do this about that. Tell them we just got. I mean, I don't know how they want to explain this, but we do need the rest. So tell them we'll hit them when they're weakest at night. You know,
Of
plan
course.
out our heist. And since we have to add a other condition of getting this rocket platform from him, so we're gonna need a little more time to plan out for this other objective.
For sure. Did it, when I left to go gather the group, did that seem like the don't come back to me, go talk to her when you're ready to leave type thing? Or could I go back to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
Okay, so
Didn't-
I'll go.
it seemed like
Yeah, she is now my liaison for this group.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Okay, so Babette would walk over to her. And just, well, my group is ready to head into the apartment. We just need to make our plans when we get there. I hope that's fine with you.
The apartment's upstairs.
Yes, if we can have some time to plan and rest, that would be ideal. Hope that's okay with your boss.
You're not staying at my place. I'm making that clear.
I wasn't planning on staying at your place. We have a place to stay.
Then I talk to my boss. First, I need to know where I'm finding you. Department.
Aren't-
Know that it was 42B.
42B. Okay.
We'll be in 42B.
Fine. He walks past you.
Okay. And so that we can just go, we now have permission to just go up into the apartments and meet up with
Yep.
everybody? Cool.
Alright.
I'll take
Standard.
one last glance. Do they have any of that Maiko's bottle underneath, behind there?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. For some reason, I can't see my cursor on my,
Oh no.
so...
Also, while you're doing that, can I also get a vibe check on Reyna?
Sure.
Like, does she
Vibe
seem
check.
unhinged? Yeah, like, what's her deal? What is it that makes
Go
her
ahead.
so scary? Ugh.
She
Get all
just
these
seems
bad
like a
rolls
chick.
out
She's got
now.
a sword. That's weird. Don't normally see a lot of people with
Mhm.
swords here. You just, she had a sword. But other than that, she's human. She's probably in her early 20s, so fairly young. The idea that she's super dangerous does not click based off of what you see there, other than the fact that she carries herself with
here.
a certain sense of, yeah. Looking at her, she's got a look that reminds you of people that have that have come back recently from war.
Oh, okay.
She's got an on-guardness to her. The way she turns and walks, she walks like a soldier.
Cool.
So we kind of look at everybody that
Yeah.
heads there.
All right, and you
20?
before all of this. Is Zarman back? All right.
Oh, before you get the Zarman chance, Hana did roll a 20 to see if there's any
Oh yeah,
bottles.
20.
Or anything of weird.
You don't see any bottles, but you did notice that there were about a dozen small screens underneath it that all had looked to be like scrying angles on various places within this building, including a couple of ones that were in that room that you hadn't been able to find or see cameras in.
Yeah.
Yep, good thing we didn't fucking swipe something.
Yep. That
That's
was
what-
kind of Babette's fear.
Mm-hmm. This is like, interesting. How did they know that?
And
Unless everybody in the future's a mind reader, how did they know about Pridwin?
Find out.
To Zarman.
you walked past and down towards the flashing lights of this parked police car, blocking off entrance to Paladin Streetway. Light snowfall. And as you approach, one of them figures on the opposite side of this vehicle elbows the guy next to him, and they both turn really quickly. One of them kind of putting his hand instinctively down towards his gun and its holster on his waist. And as he does, Barney raises his hands and goes, "Easy now, shooter. No need to get all hasty on me. Fellow officer of the law heading in, just getting off from a long day of work." And as you get towards the corner of the street, right meeting the edge of the car, The one that had been ribbed, you see has some sort of squarish device on a wound cord that's going into the vehicle, and it just got done like saying something, but you weren't able to hear it as you were approaching. It just got done saying it as you got within earshot, and at the same time, somebody closes a door down at the end of the street and is already walking in your direction. As Barney raises up his hands, and goes, "I'd go ahead and show you my identification, but I unfortunately left it in the office. Or left it in my apartment. Silly me."
Is this the second round of guards that he's talking to? Or is this the first interaction?
This is the same first interaction.
Okay. Gotcha.
As he's finishing up that, this other figure is getting up closer, and Barney's kind of sheepishly rubbing the back of his neck because he admits he forgot his identification. He goes, "Delmon, is that you, you silly old bastard?" And the person walking up, you see, this half-orc, has this gun on a sling over his neck, still kind of holding it lightly, but like not in a I'm getting ready to use it sort of manner, just like I've been lugging this thing around all day kind of manner. And as he approaches, he goes, "Barney, what are you doing here?" "Oh, come on, you can't forget that I live right around the corner. I know it's been a couple of months, but I was going to get back to you. It's been really busy on this whole thing. You're not so pissed about that beer I owed you, are you?" He goes, "Aren't you on assignment still?" "Managed to get myself a little bit of leave time. Gonna spend the next week or so probably just sleeping in my underwear and catching up on reruns." Yes. "And your friends? Co-workers?" "Oh, these old guys? Oh yeah, we go way back. We've been going around probably a good couple of years now. Wouldn't call them co-workers or anything, just enthusiasts like myself." Goes, "Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, you know me." There's a couple of holes here for a second.
Enthusiast. Part of the LARP group. I love Barney. Oh my god.
All right. Okay, he managed to pull a.
Holy shit.
Yes.
All right. There's no deception, guys.
But he has heart,
Well,
and we
yeah, I guess
respect
he's the
that
only
in
one.
this house.
Oh my god. It's the whole like it's too weird to ask questions of your hobbies.
It's one of those things that you really don't want to insight.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want to know.
Oh my god.
You know, I might be over down at the Leviathan come tomorrow. You come by, I'll get you that beer I owe you. And then give you another opportunity to go down the pool. Guy just kind of, like, you're looking at this captain. He looks, by the way, kind of beat looking from your perspective. He's got real big bags underneath his eyes. He looks thoroughly exhausted. He just kind of waves He looks down at the other people at the end, and you see as he talks into this communication device touching right on his ear, and he ends up saying, I've got an officer heading down with 2 civilians. Let him through. See you around! And you patters on by, and you make it down to the end of the street. You see that there's another couple of police cars. You walk by several shops. They all seem to be boarded up. Notice that there are police officers pretty much at most of these alleyways. You realize that your friends that were sneaking through the alleys probably had to sneak past quite a couple of people, not be spotted. And as further down, you actually go all the way to the end of the block and around the corner. Barney makes a couple of like really, really bad kind of weather jokes and stuff to the officers. You walk past them, and you end up coming up to this concrete building with these it kind of inlays in like an alcove with these steps that lead up to a revolving door. It's a weird looking door. You've never seen a revolving door, by the way. But as you look at it, Barney just like walks right on through. You know?
Okay. So
He sees it and like goes into the other one because it kind of got stopped in the center, and the two of you guys kind of go to push it, but she's pushing in the opposite direction that you're pushing in. I need you to give me a strength check.
I'm about to break a door. God damn it.
Stuck in the freaking rowdy door.
So athletics or strength check?
It's athletics.
In. Perfect.
He
Someone's
ends up
tired.
going in the opposite direction with it, and the door ends up coming around the back in, and you find yourself like outside again as the door goes the opposite direction, and she's out on the other end. She looks over at you from the other end, and Barney and them are just like both looking at you like, "What are you doing?" And he is just I didn't even realize what happened. She just went the other direction the same time you went the other direction.
Yeah, Zarman doesn't
And,
care. He'll just go the way she went.
And you going, pushing the door counterclockwise. You end up going in, and Barney's like, "First time with a revolving door?"
Zarman just
Like,
looked at him.
I've never actually seen one
tired.
of those before.
Closet party.
We're up on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
Didn't take the elevator unless you're feeling like walking, but considering how tired you look, I really highly doubt that.
Yeah,
Myself, I keep telling myself I should take the stairs more often, but you know how things go. As he steps into this box, as a door kind of dings open, and I am going to go ahead and bring everybody to this other map.
Hold up. Yeah, what are you doing? You're not here.
We're by ourselves. The person who was supposed to, who's kind of our escort to Pridwin's went the opposite direction.
She's in the same apartment building. It's just we're going in different.
Yeah, like, does
rooms.
she have a different floor that she's going to? We just split, or she?
You don't know.
She
She
said,
she didn't
she
walk
had
up there with you guys.
Okay, yeah. After a while, as we're approaching, she's like, "Seriously, you don't want me to just fill this whole place down? At least down there?"
No, we need a way in, and they're probably if he, what Babette said, he has the police force kind of in his pocket, then it's best they go with them. I know, shitty, but
Alrighty.
I'd rather not fight another war.
Oh, we're not gonna fight the war. We're just gonna help one side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You just see Zell get really dejected.
Fucking Hanu's ass.
I'm laughing because fucking the map actually has elevator music. Oh no.
Oh yeah, the elevator music. I hear it. I forgot because I'm on your character sheet, so I heard it immediately. That happened right when that happened, so I was like, oh okay, this is
There's
happy
Barney and the
music.
scientist, Zarman and Fee in the elevator right now. And Zarman's just uncomfortably quiet, so he's like, I'm tired.
Well, Barney's trying to talk. That's trying to air out the awkwardness by talking all the time. I love it.
I just feel like we're being used, okay, as an easy way in for them. But it's whatever. I should get used to that feeling anyways.
Still starts talking.
All right. So you come up and you can see 42B guys. But just before you guys get up the steps, just as you're rising up onto the top portion of it, it was actually shorter to go through the building that you guys went through, then go all the way around the block and then up through. So you guys ended up actually arriving pretty close to the same time.
Nice.
And as you crest up over the top of the steps,
What is that sound?
you hear ding, and these metal door slides into the wall in front of you, and you see Barney, Fee, and Zarman. And Barney goes, "Oh, well, you made it here after all. Oh, this is my place. I hope that you guys can forgive if there happens to be a little bit of a mess. I haven't been here in a couple of weeks, actually."
It's fine. I mean, we're really in the back in the garbage truck, so I mean, anything's better than that.
Door opens, and he leads you inside.
Yeah, she's gonna wait for everybody else to go in.
Turns on a light as you guys walk in. Feel free to make yourselves at home. There's a television over there. It has cable and all the channels that you might need. So try not to delete any of my saved ones. I got a lot of catching up to do on some reruns.
Are these real plants here?
You notice that the plants are real, and that the pot is actually magically enchanted. Zale, you notice.
She
Wow.
happily pats it on the head, just says a few nice things, and just walks in. The top of the plant, just, "You're doing a good job here, standing guard."
So kind of walking around, kind of breezing around.
See that there's
Yeah,
a
Zarman's-
back.
We go after the open doors.
There's a whole back patio section. That portion that you can see down there is actually a bit further down, but it is a whole what appears to be glass patio. so you can actually see right through down to the bottom. Got a couple of metallic chairs, and a metal rot table out there with an umbrella that's currently collapsed. Far down below, you can see what appears to be the abomination looking up at you guys, a big old eye just coming and peeking out from underneath the trash. Since it wasn't able to fit through that door, you guys left the alleyway.
Abe!
It just felt Jack's direction, and as it comes up, it's literally just in the trash under there. One big old eye.
Do we, like, throw out some rope?
Could probably climb up that thing, but there's a chance it might be noticed. You could keep an eye out, and yes, you could get up through the fire escape and be able to get up onto this portion.
Probably can see the trash for a bit.
There's not a lot of foot traffic, so you're fairly certain that if you give it like an hour, like over the course of a rest, that you will have been able to notice a time to have him go up. If you try to get him up like, in a rush, then it will require a stealth check.
Yeah, we'll just wait.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, we need to like make a rope ladder though, just to make sure it's easier, right? Anyways, who wants to take a bath first? Or shower?
That
sounds fantastic.
I don't know. Everyone's too. As Zell is looking at, what is this?
That looks to be some sort of interface system with an input device that has a bunch of letters and numbers across it. Advanced technology. Like an Arcana check over the course of an hour to look at it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay, hey,
16.
Barney, would you happen to have any fresh food or non-perishables here for some whatever
reason? There
reason?
might be a couple of things in the cabinet. You might have to go look for a can opener, but I couldn't tell you where it's at.
Zarman, what's a can opener? She motions over to Zarman, starts like gently poking at his side.
Eliza's gonna look around and see if she finds anything cool. Or
yeah, give me an investigation check.
Seriously, have you ever heard of a can opener, Zarman?
No.
I want to figure what that is, because I think maybe all of us need some food in us. That'll help us refocus.
Looking around? Not all. You don't find a whole bunch. I mean, everything here is strange to you, as far as just like, aesthetics go. There's a couple of devices that seem to be very artificer-like. That just you're not exactly certain their purpose. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of valuables. You do notice that in his room are a lot of action figures on his dressers that are resembling each one of you guys, actually.
Okay, hold on. By a lot, do you mean like a creepy amount, or like?
He has one of each of you.
He has the collector's edition, though.
Like collector's edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the collector's editions of the paradoxes.
Okay.
He's managed to keep his fanboyness under wraps pretty well to this point.
That's funny.
That's what he meant by enthusiasts.
Well, that's just adorable.
Yeah.
She'll tug at Zarman's coat, cloak, and be like, well, at least maybe something is in here interesting.
And get in, there's quite a lot of cans that have pictures of food on them. A lot of like vegetables and stuff. Something called a fruit cocktail. And then
I don't drink alcohol.
What?
metal thing you open. You see that there's not a lot in there. You can see that there's a bottle of wine, and you can see that there is also a box that says, let me look it up again. I would remember off the top of my head. There it is. Of course, I just called it that. I thought I had a clever thing, but it's just on the nose. It's called Rosemary's Pizzeria. Just a box with really, really old pizza in it.
Oh.
Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I hadn't been here in a couple of weeks. He takes it and like rushes out towards the back with it.
Sees that even the trash.
Oh, sorry. She
Oh,
looks at
Jeebus! Never mind, sorry. False alarm.
I don't know what I'm really looking at when I look at all this, so I'm just gonna go sleep now.
okay.
Also, you having heard Eliza, conversation of what's a can opener? And he said there was a can opener. You're able to ascertain that it's probably something that opens cans. And you do notice a device in one of these drawers as you're kind of going through the food and all of that stuff, and everybody's looking in the kitchen. It does look to be a device that could be used to open cans.
Do I know that it's called a can?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Cans exist. Cans exist where you guys are from.
Okay.
The can opener had not been invented.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Most
there's no
people-
that with
we're
fucking
used to that little
daggers
hook
and
thing,
knives.
you know? Just that.
Yeah, the cork or just a knife to stab it open.
I mean, why didn't he just call it a knife? So Liza takes this out. It's just so much simpler.
Eliza's
Yeah.
gonna find a can of fruit cocktail and open it.
Mm.
And then just hold it up to the group and be like, "Ha!"
Oh my
and
god.
offer the can opener out to anyone who wants to take it.
She politely claps and starts opening cans. Mindlessly.
Just willy-nilly, not even bothering to eat from them.
No, she
Open-
is. She's like, this
He's
looks
just
good.
opening all the cans.
Hell yeah.
Every can in his place is opened now.
Well,
Jack is just going to sit here, and each one you open and put on the table, he's just going to lean over and grab it.
exactly. That's why it's like, oh, sorry. Okay, the other one. Oh, he got it again. Okay. She's too polite to say, can you please stop?
He's just eating it with his fingers as well, just like digging it out of the can.
She has her like tongue just had like a little bit poked out of her of her cheeks, and just like, okay. Oh, I got a new one. Oh, he's eating it. Okay.
Eliza's gonna notice that you're doing that, and the next one you put down, she's gonna take it before Kat can get it and like set it on the other side by Hanu.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, she'll manage up enough food, and then throw out her rations on the table for people to eat. Glancing at Kek and then pushing it aside a little bit more. You're gonna eat future food. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm fine with this.
Okay. All right. Then she'll grab the wine and offer it to anybody.
I bet we'll take some of that wine.
Yeah, she'll graciously pour some. Do you want it in a mug or in a wine glass?
A wine glass.
Fortunately, I don't have any wine glasses.
Oh my god. You're in Hearthvine.
Pape.
Oh,
Uber thing
Well,
to say.
I transferred here from Wildavir, actually.
Oh, that explains it.
No wonder
Right.
you're so great.
Before that, I was in Avalon, and before that, I was in Omado. Before that, I was in Urat. Before that, I was in Shonan.
Wow.
You could say that I really don't spend a lot of time in the places that I end up usually renting.
You're so well traveled and cultured. Wow. Amazing.
And yet he still doesn't have a wine glass, Babette says under her breath.
If
Damn.
she will look to Babette, if only I had a wine opener.
Babette just looks at you.
Well, there should be some corkscrew in the drawer over there where you probably found the can opener.
I guess she threw mine out. She goes and looks for her.
Oh yes, I make a habit of bringing bottle openers with me everywhere I go, Hanu.
It's a good weapon! Oh my gosh. She'll
Oh,
pop it
dear.
open. She's used to carrying her whole life on her back, and she's confused at the subject. Wait, you don't carry everything with you? What? Oh. She'll have some wine for everybody and hand it over to who wants it. And then ask, well, after, if anybody wants to wash up, I could offer to give any brief massages, shoulder rubs, foot rubs, anything. Because it's going to be a very stressful day. Might as well be refreshed as much as possible. Okay, I will take the bath last.
And Babette's gonna have a nice shower.
Well, that's really awfully gracious of you. He says, "Oh, you probably meant for the ones going on the mission. That makes sense."
I can always
About
give
that,
like
actually.
a quick, dig the elbow in the shoulders for you though, because you are, putting your neck out.
Oh, shucks, as tempting as that sounds, I'm fairly certain you've got more important things to be worrying about over the next couple of hours.
I
I've been
mean,
thinking about this mission of yours.
I'm good at multitasking to help let off the nervous energy. So if anything, yeah, more occupied I am, you guys should know by now, the better I think.
Do you want to help me sort through this trash?
Okay.
I would clarify that trash is 4 stories below you, and is a glass tiled floor that lets you look down. You can see the trash below you.
Hey, Kak, do you want to go make it familiar so it can look through the trash?
God.
You can do that again, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Abe is still down there in the trash.
Yeah, and we were
There's
gonna spend
one
time to
little
try
eye
and.
peeking up between. Yeah.
We're trying not to get caught right now, guys.
Fine.
God damn it! I wanted to sort through the trash. I'm confused. Why is there glass here?
Mm.
Seems to be a pretty fancy apartment place, actually. As far as you can tell. I mean, it doesn't look to be. I mean, it's not like you have a lot of frame of reference, but visually, it's nice material. Nothing in here looks cheap. His furniture doesn't look cheap. The flooring on the woods looks to be very expensive flooring. The guy's got hot water running through his freaking place. I mean, you guys don't understand that that's not super fancy, but it adds to the fanciness of it all.
It's the type of hot water that doesn't go after like 30 minutes. It stays on pretty long. Yeah, so they got a good heater here, good boiler.
Yeah, and then a whole back patio, literally made out of glass.
Fancy about.
And when you can see the building here actually seems to kind of almost do the way like DNA kind of staggers around in this twisting motion, like a helix. This is a big helix concrete building, right? And the second layer of that helix is on top of like a couple of the buildings on the street next to it, which is the ones that you guys came through. But after that, spirals away from it. And on each of these terraces, there's only one apartment that has the corner section of that helix, and it has a back patio. So looking down, you don't see any other back patios, and looking up, you don't see any back patios. It looks like he's literally the only person on this corner of the building, which
Damn.
because of the building, it has a lot of corners, but his is the only one that actually has a balcony on this little section. It gives it a lot of privacy.
Damn.
Okay.
Barney
Nice.
makes the big bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know,
He did
secret
before he decided
government
that he was going to be
facilities.
putting in. Before he decided he was going to be putting in his 24-hour notice.
Okay.
You know.
So, everybody else, I think oh, Zarman's asleep. She's gonna keep an eye on Zarman, see if anything is up. So what are we gonna do? So she just keeping an eye out if she notices you fidgeting in your sleep, having a nightmare.
Well, you see Zhao really focus on what he's doing with this interface.
Looking at it, this is a fucking device, man. You'd have to spend like at least a week trying to figure out how like the full capabilities of it. But even without any, it's fairly intuitive,
Ooh.
which is in itself kind of impressive.
This is
You end up
impressive.
like clicking on a couple of things that are locked files that you don't know how to get through, but all the applications run on their own, and ends up opening up to something that says Hellscape.
Hellscape.
And as you click on it, it's just this little icon on the bottom that looks like an eye. And when you click on it, this text boots up overlaid on it with this slight kind of shadowed background that just says the words Hellscape. And then all of a sudden, this whole screen kind of boots up, and you see essentially the front page of a search engine called Hellscape.
Ooh. Okay.
And while,
Zhao
he's,
starts.
while he's looking at this, any wires or anything coming off of this?
Any what?
Wires.
Any wires or anything coming out the back or?
You do notice that there are some wires going out at the back of it into what appears to be a Roxas contraption that's got a lot of little blinking lights inside of it and more wires.
Does
Okay.
Eliza see this? Like, is she?
Well, yeah, you would have seen Zale's been messing with this for the last like 10 minutes while you guys were digging through cans and checking out the apartment. And while you guys were doing that, you would have seen Zale sit down in front of this monitor-looking thing.
Is Barney still around?
Yeah, Barney is sitting in the kitchen table.
With a lot of open cans.
She's gonna point at whatever Zale's messing with and be like, Barney, what does that do?
That's just my personal computer, actually. They're pretty new, actually, but working for government jobs comes with its benefits. This thing's actually got access to the Hellscape.
The Hellscape?
That sounds ominous.
It almost sounds like where we're at.
Well, okay, so context on this. You know that this planet's name is Hell, with one L.
Right.
It doesn't register as being negative in your guys' mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That was something that I did not know.
So Zell is gonna type the search engine. What should she type first?
Type in Mara Bessie.
What?
Sorry.
Say again?
Marabesi.
I said type in
Maravesi.
Maravesi.
Alright, you typed in Maravesi. It's like, alright. Let's
Type
have
in
some
Maravesi. Give me just a second. I need to go back to my computer and check my notes.
I've been waiting for a moment for Eliza to see a computer, and I kept forgetting to ask because I'm like, I want her to search.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Zell is gonna go for
Um,
some research right now.
You see
Great
that
will.
there are actually over 1,000 results that pop up on the page that you can see. It seems to be mostly newspaper articles, but they're all referencing something called the Maravesi Institute.
Oh. Huh.
What
Hmm.
if? Sorry,
And
I don't
then-
want to take over the computer time, but what if we search Ezia?
Which one?
Ezia.
Does this
my
computer can this computer open multiple tabs?
Looking at it, it does look like it can.
Okay, so he's gonna open a couple more tabs open. He's gonna leave that with Maravesi, and in the other tabs he's gonna type in Zimanov. He's gonna
Okay.
type in Pridwin, and he's gonna type in the Valiant Alchemist for now.
When
Um,
his typing
Go ahead.
finishes, Jack is gonna pull one of the wires.
God damn it.
okay.
No.
You
So,
better
Oh, I've
I
been like,
see
please,
it.
for the love of Christ, Jack's fucking with it.
do I
Okay,
see it?
Thalia.
So you type in Pridwin, and you get 0 results.
Ooh, okay.
That got scrubbed.
Yeah, got scrubbed. Okay. Yeah, so he X's out of that then. He's down Zimanov.
You type in Zimanov, and you see 14,373 results, and then all of a sudden, the screen goes black.
Hey, what happened?
Oh,
Fuck around.
Jack will try to put it back in.
Yeah, stop! You're gonna. Someone take it from you
He
easily.
disconnected the monitor. That's it. I rolled for
Plug-
it.
He plugs it back in.
I'm just gonna go back over here now.
It's. He plugs it back in, so he pulls back the monitor. Just like sighs and looks at Zimanov. What's the top result?
It seems to be talking about how they've got a new Paradox movie coming out, and his name is just like there in the description, Zarn Zimanov.
Kind of. Can Zell do kind of like the origin of Zimanov, the meaning, like usually you can look up family names and their meanings and everything.
Yeah,
Can Zell do a search of that?
you can give me an investigation check.
As she's doing that, she's gonna, knowing that Zarman doesn't look like he's breathing, she's gonna edge closer and just sit down there and see if there's at least any eye movement.
19. Nice.
REM sleep.
Slight eye movement.
Okay.
But it's just weird that he's laying there and it's like he's like not breathing.
Yeah, she will gently, where your arm is, just try to feel your pulse.
Zerman feeling the rest will just start waking up with a. Oh. What's up?
You okay? I mean, were you resting? Well,
Yeah.
oh, I just noticed something interesting. I'm sorry. You can go back to sleep if you want.
Okay. And then as he starts to ease back into sleep, you notice the breathing stops again.
Fascinating.
Mm.
She's just gonna hold your hand and just make patterns on the back of your back of it.
Yeah, no, it's just a little weird thing. He seems mostly fine.
Can I? I've witnessed Arthur be doing some weird stuff like that too, right? Like
I don't know if you'd picked it up yet.
yeah.
He's got fairly high deception.
Okay. Just watches. Like, wait, can you see if there's any, if this is something kind of associated with, she knows at least some people in Omido or some monks can, like, put themselves in such a state that it almost looks like they're not breathing. Can I try to parse this out?
Yeah, I mean, if you mess with the airways a little bit, you notice Armin starts to react like he's about to wake up, then you know. So he's breathing, it just doesn't look like it.
It's very shallow breaths.
And she will make a note. Actually, she will take out another notepad she hasn't brought on in quite some time and just write that note down. Little medical notebook of mental and physical health for the group.
I did roll a 19 on the investigation check.
You managed to find that the name Zimanov comes from Durakiasna. So it's in the Draconic language that it originates from. It mentions that, it has something to do with, blood of dragons or something like that, but it gives you, like, the literal translation, but no, like, family histories or anything like that.
Gotcha, okay.
Hey.
Um,
Okay. When you're
Do you ta-
finished,
do you talk with
yeah,
them?
when you're finished, I just want you to look something up, only when you're finished, okay?
he's listening. What do you mean, look up? And he's like typing, but he's still like, he's listening. He'll kind of back out a little for that one, and then he'll clear, Pridwin,
I mean,
and then
after the group, if they want to find out anything else.
yeah, I'll be out this for a bit. I don't need long to sleep, so I think we
Okay.
would be at this for a bit. And just tell me when you want to look up. As he's listening to her, he's multitasking at this point. He's kind of getting the feel of it, so he switches to the Alvelian Alchemist and starts kind of just looking at top results.
It's just an island name. I'm just kind of curious about it. It's nothing too important, so if anybody else has
Top results for Alvelian Alchemist. The Alvelian Alchemist has about 400 results that you end up getting, and they all seem to just a couple of them are history pages and stuff. Most groups seem to be talking about the history of Avale, and they seem to be directly referencing pages of these history sites that reference it. None of it is anything that is unfamiliar to you, though.
Yeah, so wipe that, and then what's the name of the island? Kailani.
Oh, Kailani.
He types it in. Press search.
Kailani Resorts pops up. Seems to be a vacation getaway.
Huh. It seems like a vacation place. What's the significance of the island?
Can you
You don't mind me asking?
check some of the photos if there's any there?
Yeah, he clicks the website, brings up some.
A lot of really beautiful beach pictures, and shows a couple of hiking locations, and you see that it talks about a couple of you know, pier side restaurants. It seems to be that it's got a very attractive like pier area that seems to have events that seem to be catering towards vacationers of an older age. Like a place that like people like in their later years end up going to like vacation.
Yeah.
She's
So
uncomfortably
it's Fantasy
close.
Florida.
No.
Zell honestly he doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's
she's
just
uncomfortably just leaning over.
something to take about this island.
Looks beautiful, right? Starts getting a
Very.
shoulder rub.
Any of the NPCs want to Google something?
As he kind of looks, and then you see him just really swap back to the tab, go to a different tab. He types in Wisteria.
You get a bunch of results for flower shops and etymology of flowers and how to plant wisteria and what their seasons are.
Probably
shit
put
like
the
that.
advocates.
Yeah, Wisteria and the Advocates.
That ends up bringing you to a page where you can actually download their music. It seems to be that their music does have to be paid for. Asks for your payment information, but I'm not quite sure what any of that stuff is referencing. And it does mention that all profits go towards donations.
Do I remember her last name?
Wow.
Yes, you do. Weld.
Forgot your
You-
wife's
yeah,
last
yeah.
It's been a
name.
bit. Zell doesn't forget. He has key mind.
I got
Me
you.
and Rashad, it's been months,
No,
so
I
I
got
need
you,
to
bro.
remember. Zell will type in her full name and see if that pulls up any kind of results.
Largely leads you to the same things.
Same thing. Can Zell guesstimate that it's not her real name she's telling me? I mean, she's telling me her first name, but the last name's not real. If it's not
Seems
like
to be
pulling
real.
up. Seems to be real.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be real. Shows
Okay.
the same things.
Okay.
I mean,
So just kind of.
sometimes famous people, they kind of, just like what Prince does, they control what information is readily seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
So maybe there's a reason why.
Dell would honestly, until this kind of point, go back to the Marvesi and then look at the Marvesi Institute.
I think maybe Eliza should
The
have some
Marvesi
fun.
Institute is an institute based out of Port Valiant. It seems to be an institute for medical practitioners, doctors. They seem to be focused on research and development of groundbreaking medical advancements.
So kind of like tilts his head and kind of like, hey, Eliza.
Can you search my father's name?
Why don't
Yeah, I can do
you
that.
do that? No, it's... She'll pull Zale back. Come on.
Well, give it a shot.
Eliza, you can give me an investigation check.
She'll give you
I'll
guidance.
help her.
Yeah.
I'll help her since.
I think Honey's trying to divert your attention there.
Yeah, honey's trying to get
29.
you out of there.
No. She
Are
you
you?
can help. You're gonna probably help her like figure out. Well, and this is like 1, 2, 3. This is how you use this cursor, and then afterwards she's gonna drag you away.
Okay. As Zell gets the body language from like Conan's like, okay. And he'll walk over away and just go like, what's up?
Motions over.
And
Like,
as you sit down, and you adjust your search terms a little bit, typing in alterations between your father's name in relation to Marvessi Institute, and something clicks, and you think to type in the word Saint's Blood, and you get one result.
Just one.
It says, there's no description underneath the link that pops up on the search result. It's literally just the name of the site itself. And it says the link for it is institute dot HEL. And the I that's the end of Marvessi is the I that begins institute, so it's just one I. And as you end up at marvessi.hell, the page first greets you. It's just a blank box with a black background that takes up the entire screen. And there's this blinking cursor in the middle of that box.
Well, can I click on it?
Looking at it, it looks like it wants you to type something in. Based off of that investigation check, you ascertain that it probably wants some sort of passphrase.
Do I have any insight on what it might be?
You could give me an insight check.
Does Cell see this?
You're being distracted.
Probably dealing with Holly right now.
Yeah, being distracted. Okay.
Could I?
you can
use
use
my
the guidance and
influence.
human influence. Yeah, I stacked that on you.
Can't see a 2d4.
D4.
Mm.
25.
I'll do it. You type in sanctity, the last word of your family prayer, and sacrifice sanctity. As you type in the word sanctity, page picks up, and you see as this icon appears in the middle of it that looks very similar to an eye. And it stays there on the middle of it. As you're kind of looking at this eye, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, not that bad. Not that
Okay.
bad.
Flexes, yeah.
You feel as this static shock comes out from your fingers, and you pull your fingers away from the keyboard, and as you do, the screen blank. As it boots off and turns the entire computer off.
Huh.
Make an insight check.
7.
Killing
You
it.
see it power off. You felt this brief moment of like something trying to probe into your mind. As you looked at it, you felt like it was trying to draw you in towards it, and you instinctively moved your hand away from it as you make this wisdom saving throw, and a slight static discharge that comes off from your fingertips as you release away from the computer. You get the feeling that it was trying to connect with your mind to be able to give you information, and that the only way to be able to know what's on this website is to purposely fail that wisdom saving throw.
Oh fuck.
This website does not display information on a screen. It's going to display it in your mind.
Ooh.
Does that seem like traceable or damaging?
You have no idea.
Okay.
But Keck is
I'm gonna look at.
the mind person if you want to bring this up to him.
Yeah, Babette, after Eliza's sitting there, is gonna at some point just kind of lean over her shoulder and be like, "What you looking at?"
Well, I'm not sure. Barney, are there a lot of these pages that probe your mind?
What?
Do you say
Eliza,
pages
sweetie.
that probe your mind?
What the
I just-
fuck?
She looks
This
down at
can-
her notebook. What?
This machine, I searched for saint's blood, and there was this flashy page, and then I felt like it was trying to get into my head. Is that normal for these machines?
Oh, golly, I don't think I've ever heard of such a thing.
Wonderful thing. Okay.
Are you
look-
snooping into stuff that's above your pay grade again, my dear?
Above my pay grade.
It's my inheritance.
Now Zell's kind of like looking at the computer. Is the computer toast?
No, it just turned off.
Okay. Okay, so it
It's
wasn't like a
actually
backlash.
It's actually booted back up to its boot up to its start. screen
Okay.
Again.
Gotcha. Zell's kind of looks like looking at it, wondering if like he was like a defense.
Probably.
So did it seem? Oh, okay. No, I already asked that. I don't know if it would be dangerous then.
I mean,
No clue.
you can, Keck is good with mind stuff. Maybe he can shed some insight, but still, that's, we'd have to figure out why your family would go to such great lengths.
Yeah. I mean, Cac, do you know anything?
About what exactly?
Machinery with mind magic capabilities?
Machinery? No.
I mean,
Mind magic? Yes.
it has so many wires running down it. It reminds me of tentacles, which reminds me of Abe, and it has one eye. Clearly, you know everything about it, right? This is an aberrant machine.
An aberrant machine. Interesting.
Yes.
Maybe I was right to unplug it.
Right? Zell is just like sighing at this point.
Well, I don't know if they'll be able to like track us down like this weird scrying thing right now. Actually, why don't you check out to see if anything is scrying on us right now, Eliza? Glancing around. See if
that's
the
a good
see if the FBI is zoned in. On
Yes,
us.
the FBI.
Like on the computer?
Or you could use your monocle. To,
Yeah, your
check
monocle to
for
check to
Or
see if
just look
anything's in
around,
this room.
Look
Yeah.
around the room.
Well, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Looking
Oh.
around, you don't spot any invisible things. No scrying sensors, nothing.
I forgot. Eliza would have set up her Vigilus by the door. Just in
Noted.
I'm
Okay.
a turn
Got it.
right.
Okay. Well,
Cac's gonna look at you very sternly for a moment. And look, you need to just relax for just a moment and let me inside. And he will detect thoughts.
Oh shit.
on me?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he's looking at you, but
And
he isn't
his-
looking at, is he?
is gonna probe those deeper thoughts and just see if anything's gotten in there.
So Liza needs to make a wisdom saving us, or
Okay.
Or
let
fell.
it fail.
You could choose to
Unless
fail.
she lets
Choose to,
yeah.
He could tell you to
You can feel
relax your
like
mind.
it's almost as if these tentacles are probing your mind,
God.
trying to dig in deep.
Can she control how much she lets him see?
Oh, once you let him
once
in,
you
he's
fail,
in your
no.
mind.
God damn it.
It,
Alright,
it's
she's gonna-
patient confidentiality. You have to trust him not to probe too much, you know?
Yeah.
Right, it's an
she'll-
open door, not a filter.
she's gonna let him in, but she's gonna be like, in her mind, like, you better watch what you see.
Well, Keg's purely looking to see if there's anything there that's not supposed to be there.
And as she tenses, then inevitably lets you probe into her deeper thoughts, and you hear her warn against you, like prying into things that you shouldn't. You don't sense anything in her mind that doesn't belong there.
Cackle.
Before an
Did he see though, like, what I would have experienced with the computer?
Yeah, if you thought about
No,
it.
they would have only seen you sitting at the computer, and then it shut off. And then
No,
as
but
you
like,
explained.
would
Yeah,
Cat
would
have
I've
been
seen
able
in
to
her
see
eyes
that?
the image
Yeah.
of what happened.
Like, yeah, would he be able to have felt what I felt technically?
No.
Mary? Okay.
Nope. It was only you that experienced that.
Alright, Cackle pull out.
If more of you guys want to stand around the computer as she attempts it again,
Cackle
but it
pull
was just
out,
her.
and he will just place a hand on her shoulder gently. Just, well, nothing in there that's not you, so that's good news. Now I'm really curious. Do it again.
Yeah, let's do it again. I think- I mean, something
Alright.
happened at least.
And Kak will continue to focus on her surface thoughts if she proceeds further.
Okay.
Does look at the screen at this point.
Anu sighs, and
Alright.
she just lays out her blanket on his arm, makes him really comfortable, still glances down over, and just walks away.
You type
Okay,
in
well,
the same search results, brings you back to that one singular result for Marvesi Institute.l.
Okay, I'm gonna type in the same password.
You type in sanctity. You guys watch as the screen goes very dim, and it goes to where there's just this one glowing icon in the middle, an eye. And Kak, you're focusing on her thoughts.
Yep.
Eliza and Zale to make me wisdom saving throws.
But
As
if
you
that,
guys both lean in,
can I
we
fail it?
fail?
can choose to fail it. Yes,
Yeah, I'll fail it.
Fail.
Eliza. All right.
Okay. I'm a fail.
So the eye remains on the screen, but from your perspective, you guys see as the eye blinks, and then when it opens its eye back again, you can see what look to be rapid images moving on the inside of its pupil. Just a series of really fast images moving through, too quick for you to be able to process. But you watch as several of them begin to kind of rise out from it. As to you, Zale, it's just a series of flashing images moving within its eyes. But Eliza, you're still thinking about your father at this moment, and several images rise and like still frames stop just for a moment, in that rapid series of images and actually float out from the screen so that they're floating in front of you. Like these little boxes in the air, little screens floating. And you see first one pop out, and it seems to be a file that has your father's picture on it, like an employee file. It's got his name. It also says that he died in 1962. And everything else on it seems to be blacked out. You just see his higher on date for it, which it shows a code next to it that says OA, just the letters OA right next to higher on date, and then it says deceased, and then it says that he died in, check the date on this, the 13th of Saints Fall, 1962. Everything else on it, big black bars across it. And just as you're thinking about that, more images have popped out from the screen. The next one that pops out is an actual moving video of some sort. It's a moving image that, as it pops up, seems to just be an image of him walking through what looks to be a security checkpoint in a very, very white hallway. And you see that everybody else in the frame in this picture, their faces seem to have some odd distortion going around it, so you can't make out their facial features. He's the only one on this thing that you can see his face. And you see as he walks towards and across the other side of the security checkpoint, somebody else walks into the frame to meet him on the other side. It looks to be a woman in a white, long coat, kind of similar to the scientist coat that you had seen being worn by the doctor, who is currently passed out on the bed in Barney's room, recovering from his wounds. But it's this coat seems to be a lot nicer in make, and you can see that there are on the shoulder pieces what looks to be the almost like a stitching design in it that makes it look like the shoulder portion of it seems to be stitched with almost this thicker padded material that almost has the shape and semblance of feathers. Like their shoulders are wreathed in a feather cloak, but it looks like it was sewn into their long white coat that they're wearing. So they're wearing this long white feather embossed coat. And the whole white feathered coat thing, even though it's not actual feathers on it, seeing this woman with this white embossed feather cloak immediately stands out in your mind as reminding you of the leads that you've looked into so far. You know the rest of you don't see them.
Yeah, I have a quick question. Babette was leaning over Eliza's shoulder and looking at the screen as well. Would she have also?
No, it's only to Eliza.
Oh, I wasn't aware that you were there. I thought you stepped back. Then yes, you would have failed on it, but you would also just be getting random.
Eliza has the
flashing
clearance
images
for
within-
it, so she's able to
even
see. She's able to process it. So.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but I just wanted to see because Babette's just like, I hope Eliza doesn't like get possessed.
It's
is what she's thinking as she's looking at this screen.
Just a question, because Zelwood thinking that he's not seeing anything, he's gonna think about the beast. Does it do anything if Zel starts thinking that thought?
Give me an intelligence check. Because I'm not sure if it would be thinking of the beast without any prompting from anybody.
7.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't click in your mind. And you're waiting for something to happen,
Hmm.
and it just looks like it's booting up from your mind at this from this
Yeah,
perspective.
and
So
I did want to
your thoughts
specify.
are just like, what am I seeing?
Okay.
Yeah, and Babette's specifically thinking of Eliza because she is worried that whatever the fuck is happening is gonna hurt Eliza.
And still, you just get. Actually, one thing does pop up. You do get an employee file that actually pops up, and it has Eliza's picture on it. You see an image rise out of the screen and float in front of you, and it looks like a document. It says employee file. It says Eliza Marvesi. It says clearance, and then next to the clearance, there's a big black bar covering up what her clearance is, and everything else on it, including her hire on date, is all gone. The only thing that you can see are the words MIA.
Okay.
So, did I see how my dad died?
No. So far, all you've seen is this image pop up an employee file where most of the things have been redacted out of it, and then you see this video image of him going through a security checkpoint and meeting this woman with a white cloak.
See her face?
Are still fluttering through and getting ready to rise out, but I was just waiting to see if you were going to react or tell the group about what you've seen so far.
Did I see her
With
face?
the other images. No, also, everybody else, her face is also blurred out.
Okay.
Do you
So,
see anything, Eliza?
I some conflicting things. I didn't get a lot, but I did see my father meeting with a specific woman in a white coat. It wasn't exactly the same as the woman we've seen, but it seemed eerie.
No,
Well, she's probably older.
yeah. Most likely.
I don't
How-
know what my father would have to do with it.
Maybe he isn't aware of that.
Yeah. How does this thing work, by the way? I haven't seen anything.
I just saw you. And Babette looks down at Eliza.
Really? I figured you guys are seeing the same thing I was.
No. So. Hmm.
What did Kat get from Eliza through all that?
You saw the same things that Eliza saw.
Okay. He's going to keep that to himself, but...
Ooh.
So I guess.
Would Eliza know that, though? 'Cause
No,
could
you would
I-
not.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
He's no longer probing deep into your mind. He's just reading your surface
What?
stance.
Han's
Gotcha.
approaching closer. She's not looking at the screen, but she's like, what if your father is unaware that what happened on Port Valiant is tied closer than any of it you guys could have imagined?
Well, I can't tell if he doesn't know or if he knows
Could be
a
tricked.
lot more than I think he does.
Unknowingly, maybe. Let's think
Can
about that
Zell
another
think of
day.
Admar? Is that's the guy that
As
did
the
it?
name pops up, it immediately ends up. You see his out of those flickering images. The image that's of Adamar shows up, and it comes out of the screen, and it looks like he's looking directly at you as he ends up saying, "Welcome to the Marvesi Institute. Here, we do work that none other dare do, for the sake of all humanity. we are happy to welcome you to our family and hope that together we can achieve amazing things. And then it blinks out.
Huh. Then Zell would go look up himself, see if he was in the list.
Nothing pops up. No
Eliza,
images
So-
come out.
Zell kind of like nods his head.
Eliza would probably think of herself also.
You see as a file pops up out of the screen, and it's the same employee file that Babette just saw, except for it doesn't have the black bars against it. Everything is visible on it.
He's the information.
And as it pops up, it has the same hire on date, OA. And as you can see next to it, there's this IA thing, and even as you just like look at it, it expands out the letters to show the words missing in action. And then further on, it describes your what seems to be notes on disciplinary things related to you. It seems that you received quite a lot of disciplinary infractions for breaking security clearance, breaking security clearance, breaking security clearance, breaking security
What?
clearance.
No way.
Um,
I can't see that
really
happening.
doesn't seem like no.
What? Hey.
and as you're like looking over the breaking security clearance, several images come out of the screen, more video loops that show several examples of you like typing into various computer terminals, breaking into somebody's office, and one of them pops up, and it actually shows you in an office, and a light comes on, and you raise up with your hand crossbow, and immediately your eyes go to that because just you see your fight instincts in that image, and that whole screen ends up pulling up towards the only one, and the others disappear. And you see, as in this illusion, you seem to be looking at something off camera. You're saying something, but there's no audio on this, so you can just see your lips moving. You're not quite who you're talking to, but you're clearly weary. And then all of a sudden, you see as what looks to be a black vortex opens up right behind you, in the image, and all of a sudden some concussive force of pure white hits you in the chest, and it bursts out, and the whole image kind of fuzzes for a moment, and you can see as in that moment of fuzziness, it's really hard to see what happens as suddenly the whole screen got really light there for a moment as this white energy hit the Eliza in the chest, and you went flying 10 feet backwards into that black vortex, which just shuts. And then the image stops on that frame, and it's just hanging there.
What?
Eliza, she's just staring at it at this point. Like, does she notice anything else?
You can
by
give me a
staring at it?
perception check. Cac, you can do the same.
Gag's not
He
here.
just headed to bed.
Darn, I'll roll for him. Just to see. Second.
I can roll quick. Perception, right?
Got it.
You got it? Alright.
Got it. Yeah, he had 2 nat one.
Hmm.
He is asleep. He knocked out.
Yeah.
But Eliza, you did notice something really strange about that white blast. And as you're thinking about like what was that? What was that? The whole image goes back and rewinds to that moment as the black thing opens up behind you, and once more, it white flashing light, fuzziness, and you're careened backwards. This time you go there, and it stops. And you can see that as the white energy that hit you in the chest had kind of crashed against you, it almost dispersed outwards. And the way the light broke away was in the shape of white feathers.
Oh.
That looks
Eliza wouldn't even say anything about that yet. She would immediately start thinking of Babette. Because, like, if it gets to mortality, that's her first thought.
Eliza, can you
Nothing pops up.
Can you
The image
figure
disappears.
out what happened 1939 with your family in Avio? If there's anything recorded.
She starts thinking of that.
I think
Hearthstone.
1939, you think Marvesies, you see a bunch of images pop up talking the same. Several of them seem to be memos. A lot of them are similarly blacked out and redacted. A couple of them aren't. And you manage to pick out from like this dozen images that float up in front of you that these documents seem to be talking about the various alternate names for the Marvesi Institute. One of them seems to be a actual copy of a handwritten letter from Adamar to what seems to be someone with the initials GM. And the letter is discussing how the Marvesies are looking to change their public image. And that they think that, through medicine they might be able to do better. Seems to be the general gist of this letter. It seems to be a fairly personal letter, not a professional one. Really just talking about, Adamar's talking about how, he's had a new insight into the mistakes the Marvesies have made up to this point, and that in order to be able to do better, they would have to be better. That's the part that sticks out to you. In order to do better, they would have to be better. And then it talks about, changing their image. And it seems to be sent to somebody with the initials GM. And then as that happens, the last thing that pops up is that same image of Adamar, and it has Adamar giving that same "Welcome to the Marvesi Institute" fucking spiel.
So step away from that point and kind of sit down.
Would Eliza have been able to read her own lips in that clip of herself?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Yeah, so Eliza's gonna get up and just walk away from the computer and like sit down somewhere and sigh.
She kind of looks like she has something on the tip of her tongue, but she doesn't know how to say it or if she should, so she's just like, guys, is everybody finished using the bathroom? The restroom?
Do I need an insight check to check that you're wanting to say something? Or can I just
Well,
passively get
it's
that?
up to you guys. But she's also figuring out if everybody has finished taking their showers.
And one Zelda definitely needs one because he hasn't showered
Yeah,
yet.
then
But he
she'll take
looks
a
at
bath.
you.
She
He
looks
looks at
deep
you
in
like
thought, But she always is deep in thought.
Yeah, it's like I knows you by now. Do you want to say something? Seems like you have something on your mind.
Yes. But anyways, I first want to figure out if everybody's finished taking a shower, because I'm going to go in there last, okay? Save some hot water for me.
Yeah, I need
He was
to
already
take one.
passed out before you even went in there, so.
Eliza's gonna want to shower at some point, but right now she's processing.
Mm,
She's looking at Eliza, so you can probably suss out she's waiting for Eliza to seem to be bitter in order to approach her, but she's still like, eh.
mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
gets that cue, and then he gets up and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna head in the shower. I am caked in blood, so I'll be caked in blood." And walks up. He walks up and goes take a shower.
She'll
And Babette is gonna go over to Eliza. You look like you maybe stumbled onto something big?
I don't know if it was big. It was just exhausting.
she'll
And she's gonna look out to everyone that's in there still and be like, do the initials GM mean anything to any of you?
Does it?
Does it mean anything to me, actually?
So both of you could make me intelligence checks.
Intelligence sex?
means Grandmaster. Anyways.
Team?
What?
19.
Human influence?
Yeah.
Do you have
Go ahead.
It is a skill check.
Mm-hmm. It's a check.
I could smack some on you
Hold
too
on,
if you
wait.
want. If you get over here, Eliza, I'll smack you.
Freaking Foundry
Go.
is... No. Hold on.
Before you leave, she's just gonna point over her shoulder to Zarm and be like, "Listen, I usually don't stay up as much as you do, but just check to see if that's kind of normal, because I'm pretty sure his chest isn't breathing, but there's still like a pulse and everything, and like slight. I don't know."
I'll keep an eye out.
Okay. But you seriously haven't noticed anything at all? You guys usually sleep close together. Or at least
Actually, we
you
haven't
used to.
Slept. He kind of like looks. Honestly, I haven't actually slept in the same room
Oh,
as him since even before Port Valiant.
oh. Okay.
19.
19.
Well, don't forget that
The-
you're his
you-
brother, okay?
You feel like it might be thin. It could be a jump. Because you don't have a last name. It's possible because this person was sort of brought into your family, lacks a last name. So,
Might be who?
Guinevere has a G.
Ah.
It could be Guinevere Maravesi. It's the only initials that pop up in your mind.
Well, yeah, that out of character, that kind of would make sense. That should be like, medicine.
Mm.
Heal these bitches up, punk. Okay, but she will just tell Zale, like, remember, you are his brother, okay? It's kind of weird that, whatever. You're not a wire genasi, so it wouldn't make sense.
So closed door.
Seriously, though, she looks to Babette. Do siblings not sleep in the same room over here? Used to do that all the
I
time with my
mean-
brother.
I slept in the same room as my whole family, but that's because
Yeah.
we lived in a wagon.
Oh,
So,
I used to do that too, but I didn't live in a wagon, though. It's fascinating how cultures, even in the Coterie Coast, are so different.
You did hear him
Eliza.
say he doesn't anymore. He used to.
Yeah, exactly.
does
So
it
that's why I was like,
anymore.
what?
Babette, when you said what you said about your family sleeping in a wagon, Eliza would have been like, no, you didn't. You slept in my bed and you took the whole thing.
Wait a second! Your bed is a wagon? Whoa!
I mean, I sometimes did, not every night. You know, before shows, I actually had to stay at home. And I always made myself small so I didn't take up that much space. You're just a baby.
No, you sleep with everything sprawled out. Doesn't matter how small you are.
Yeah, but when I'm the size of a halfling, it's not as big of a deal.
Listen, have you ever slept with a cat on the bed? They definitely make their territory. I think you're a cat.
It's
I don't know
alright.
whether to be offended or charmed.
I didn't mind.
You just gotta be more assertive when it comes to people hogging the bed. That's all it is.
Noted.
Fucking kicks you out next time.
Yeah, fucking kicks you off.
I know. It's gonna be great.
But after a while, she starts her pacing and waits for Eliza to kind of finish her processing thing and kind of usher you over to the food.
Eliza would probably, like, wait to the food we're eating.
I mean, if you want, I just have something I need to discuss to you over dinner. Breakfast, lunch,
yeah.
brunch.
Okay.
I don't know what this would be.
And as several of you guys take your showers and a couple of you guys sit down to, look at your feast of opened cans, and a couple of you lay down to recover from your wounds, we're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
And we can back and
Mm-hmm.
you guys can RP through this evening to your guys' heart's content.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But we're not going anywhere, so
Take a long
feel free to
rest.
just RP and talk and disseminate and theorize on what all the information could mean, and you've also got access to a fucking computer. So if any other things, research come into your mind, we're gonna take a brief break. Let everybody process.
Out of
Yeah.
characters.
Where's all the NPCs chilling out?
Fee is on the couch. Lib is Lib goes to sleep. She passes out right on the couch. He is gonna sit on this little end thing over here. As she sat down next to Lib, and then Lib said, "So I'm getting ready to sleep here." He goes, "Oh, okay. I hope you have a good rest." And she sits down on the other side.
That awkward moment. Oh, okay. Can't you see the spot is taken? This is
Yeah, right?
fully open.
God. I
Uh,
love it.
and then she'll call
You're
out.
at my seat in the lunch table.
She'll call out to Sunera. Sunera, aberrant mind, go search unknown knowledge. Points over there.
Oh, and as you guys are sitting down for the table, there's the sound briefly of the doorknob rattling, being tested to the balcony.
Uh-huh.
All of you guys are in. For a brief moment, those of you that are in the kitchen, immediately look over there on guard. But as the door opens, Arthur peeks in and is like, "Did you guys see that the porch is made out of glass?
I know, right?
How impractical."
Yeah. It's like it's some kind of atrium or something.
So, what's with the stressed looks on everybody's faces? And that's where we'll pick up. Okay.
Okay.
Tell us
I need to get.
Yep.
He's in the bath.
Yes.
Combing out
You'll
his
come out
long
and
hair.
Arthur will be there.
Combing out your long hair. Just, oh, yeah.
I need to actually. I want to roll something at this point because this is the point where Zell's actually alone right now. So I want to roll something.
You're gonna be crying in the bathroom too? Because that's what she's gonna be doing.
Oh,
It's raining.
Hanu.
It's raining outside. As the shower's dripping on you.
Yeah, no, that's what she's basically gonna be doing in there. So,
Yeah. So it's like, actually, let's roll. I need to roll a wisdom save. See where I'm at.
That shit.
Yeah.
Ugh. Sale's fucking crying.
He's not crying. No.
it's raining.
No, he's not crying. Let's just say he's definitely he's gonna be in there for a little bit. Not crying necessarily, but like
Not
just
doing
kinda-
too hot.
yeah, kind of just watching the blood all kind of just drain out, and knowing that like most of this
Hemophobia?
blood is not his own. No, you'll see. Especially with that 7, you'll see.
Oh,
God, I've been rolling weird tonight too.
Mhm.
Good thing it's RP. Thank
Yeah.
God.
that's why she
Oh,
wants
that's
everybody to
gonna-
take a shower first, because she's gonna just sit in there with her clothes on and just be like, I'm gonna cry. That's what I need to do.
He hasn't got to the point or emotional awareness where he'll cry because of something. He just, yeah.
Mhm.
You figure it out. It's gonna be interesting.
Mm.
Then,
Oh. And at the end of y'all's long rest,
Mhm.
you guys will be turning level 9.
Oh,
oh,
I get some mash.
oh, wait. Oh, if that's the case, oh,
Oh,
oh man, what's gonna happen in the bathroom?
Oh no.
I got calm emotions. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh no.
You start howling.
Oh no, this is gonna be so interesting. Oh no.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh, this is perfect. Oh my god, this works out so well. Oh my god, that works out so well. It's probably gonna happen.
So, at the beginning of next session, you guys will be level 9.
Oh my god.
So we can still do some RP stuff right now, though, if we're so
Yeah.
inclined.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're just
100%.
we just
We're-
have a break right now.
RP,
for-
investigate, theorize, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is an RP session, so like this just ends whenever you guys feel like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if because of that, if you guys want to get something to eat,
Who's
drink,
going
bathroom,
to
go.
bed?
So get your shit done.
Next session will not have a lot of RP in it.
Yeah.
So like take as much of it as you can get out of this. I'm turning you guys are turning level 9 for next session for a reason.
Yeah.
So take advantage of this rest moment to recuperate and process shit. You guys have been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Been through a lot. It was definitely like turn level 9 and worth it a lot. You guys have gone through a couple of things since the last time you leveled up.
Ooh,
Yeah,
our
'cause,
sneak goes, Eliza.
Because I want to say 9's when like cantrip damage goes up too, doesn't it?
No, 11.
11. Oh, I forgot it goes off proficiency after 5. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
proficiency's all good up. So Zell now has a plus 12 to his Arcana sec, so his pass is 22. Nice. And Tinker Checks is 12 too. But the most important thing is now he has heightened senses, so Zell now has advantage on rely on hearing and smell for perception checks. And then most important, his hybrid transformation. Oh shit. Oh no.
Oh.
Guys, it's time for Rabbit to stand across the fucking battlefield and taunt bosses.
Yeah.
I know the perfect thing of what you would be doing.
Oh man, this is gonna be fucking interesting.
So yeah,
Oh,
Chance,
man.
your name to the question I sent you in PMs.
I haven't seen it yet. Sorry.
I know.
Or I'll be there in
I
just a
mentioned it
second.
now.
Right. Hey,
This is basically what.
like
Babette
Barney
is
too
saying.
much, man. Why you gotta
I
get
know,
so-
right? I love
They're
Barney.
enthusiasts like we are. Fucking kill me.
Oh, I love Barney. I'm so sad we're gonna leave him behind.
We just need to give Barney autographs, okay?
No,
That's the
Yeah.
best thing for him.
Barney knows that Dr. Grace is out there fighting a one-man or one-woman, battle against, the forces of darkness. They might need a little bit of backup.
Oh, he's gonna go back? Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we need to give him some autographs so he feels, enlightened
Yeah.
and just
He's gonna
pumped.
ask. He's gonna
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah!
He's gonna ask.
Fuck yeah!
He's gonna ask. He's gonna ask you guys to fucking sign his trading cards.
Yes!
They're all trading cards. He's gonna ask you to. He's gonna have you sign his live Shaw cards. You guys.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yes.
I laugh at the idea he has holographic versions of the cards of people transformed into shit.
Yeah, it's like one of them has them doing their ultimate move too. Just when
That
holographic.
card is just a mirror.
Oh, Hanu, what's your health out now?
I mean, I don't know. It's just gonna have an extra. It will be a 5. It'll be extra 8. So it'll be 98, I think.
Ah. I have finally reached 100, guys.
Yeah,
On a level before double digits on a character.
yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we've had some assistants like
I know.
the first few levels maxed HP, fucking lineage system.
I know, this is nice though.
5.
Because most of my characters never at like level 9 get over 100.
Okay, so 98. Yeah.
I just broke 100 with my Bard luck, and she's level 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah, that image looks fucking awesome.
Nah,
Oh, no.
just gonna pop that monk.
Oh yeah, you're monk. You're taking monk this level.
Well, that
that's
means
right.
she's just doing push-ups after she cries in the shower. She's just doing push-ups.
Oh
Sadly.
man, this is not gonna go well for Zelda.
Actually, she's doing push-ups
Yay.
before she goes in the shower because she's gonna be.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
not gonna go well for Zelda.
And Mike, the answer is yay.
Okay. I have some work to do then.
Okay, I need to add an effect. The effect is resources. Steam resources. 1 feature. No. Okay, Pass. Bonus action. Class. Effect. There you go. Add resource. Short rest. And that should work.
So Babette did actually take damage in that encounter, where she was
Did?
just talking. Because she failed a wisdom save.
Yeah, so I'd stepped out. Are we talking about the thing, the nightclub?
Yeah.
Babette
Yeah,
took damage in the
yeah.
nightclub.
Because I had stepped away for a moment, so I just came back to wisdom save. I'm like, wait, what happened? Is this a mind reading thing?
It's because it's a mind reading thing.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
That's how
okay.
they figured. Yeah, that's how they figured out that Babette
Yeah,
was
exactly.
actually heading towards ways.
Which is why I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a second. Is there any alcohol here? What is? I know there's a drink that does this. I guess people have mind reading. I mean, it's
no,
Smilecoast.
wasn't a drink. The guy, the
Still
bald
fine.
guy that was sitting next to the boss,
Yeah, had it.
the
on
mind
him, so-
reader.
Yep, gotcha. Yeah, which honestly is the smartest thing to do when you're in this kind of business. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Always have a mind reader on you.
So.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
roll-
that's how you find good opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she's like, there has to be a drink.
Insight versus Babette for 22.
Oh fuck,
That
man!
was funny.
I'm so mad.
Thankfully, Thankfully, you were dealing with bullshitters who like
Yeah.
don't necessarily view that as like giving a
Yeah.
false name is
Yeah.
them like a bad thing.
Yeah, as long as you can talk your way out of being caught in that lie. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Just the whole Leviathan thing in Micah. She's like, somebody in here can read minds. Who is it? Who's this bitch?
No, it was the guy on the run.
I'm about to bring this whole place down.
Yeah, Hunter is like trying to bring the place. It's like Hunter, wait.
I understand Takaro on such a deep level right now. Okay. Operations! Let's go! Or at least she understands one of her ancestors on a deeper level. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a question from me, just because probably gonna get there. For the tool I picked up, my unfinished tool, how much does it reduce off my time to complete it? Not to have all these parts.
I'd have to look at it again.
Okay.
I'm not certain. It'll become
Okay.
relevant when you get back to your workshop.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I got the pieces already. Yeah, look at that. 25 plus 12 on arcane checks. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, Babette specifically sat down at that table with the guy, though, as a power move.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was
Make
good.
a statement.
You had to have a good persuasion roll to pull that off.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I gotta make weapons.
It's one of those things where it's the wrong thing to do unless you're good at doing it. Then it was the perfect thing to do.
hmm
Criminals are weird, man.
Yeah. Unarmed.
The things that they will respect versus not respect are very different than most other people.
hmm
Are-
Babette's persuasion is now a plus 12, and her deception.
Is Tarana, Maya, and Kelly up here too, or did they come up here with Arthur?
Arthur will mention that they are choosing to stay with the vehicle.
Gotcha.
Verona said that she was going to scout the nearby rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
Sunir is already kind of up there doing the same shit. When you guys wake up in the morning,
Nice.
Wander will be asleep on the couch.
It's like,
Wandering.
yeah. It's like, I fucking knew it! I was waiting for you, Wander! You were there!
Of course.
I'd like to think that he somehow made
That
it
thing's
into
got-
this alternate dimension from some other means.
Yeah. He just.
Like, he wasn't even with us when we first appeared. He's just there now.
Oh my
He's
god.
the fucking
He's
monkey.
usually he's lingering around, hidden in shadows or like in just really, really odd places. Like he tends to be very high up in most places, which makes it really hard to spot him. Most people aren't looking up like that, and even if you are, he's at an angle up there that you can't see from below.
Oh man.
Sneaky one.
Oh man.
So yeah,
He's got a better
116
stealth
HP
than
hands.
I think
That's
everybody in the party.
I think so. What's his like base?
Well, he's got a 20 on his dex, and he's got expertise and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I think
he's far above anybody in this party right now.
Only one who would see him selling.
Yeah. Yeah, his
And
past.
guess who's not here?
Yeah. Right.
Owen's taking another cat now. It's like,
Oh, this is. Oh, that changes so much of my plans. Fuck. No, I have to think about like. I mean, it's still kind of the same plans I'm thinking about, but now we got like extra tools in our basket now. So, okay. Hmm. Interesting.
Well, if you like lose it here, they won't have any outward repercussions right off the bat, so it would be fine.
That's gonna be freaked the fuck out though, 'cause she
It-
knows about
It's
the theory, but she hasn't witnessed it yet. So she's gonna be like, "Get that thing up the fuck away from me."
It's okay,
Oh
man.
my
That's fine.
god, this is so great that it's happening right when I did the wisdom. Oh, look at the freaking blood in the water.
I got command and I got calm emotions. If I need to,
Oh.
if I need to make it, if you can't, I'll make sure you're
The funny,
okay.
the funny thing, I mean, it's not like a sport, but the funny thing is I roll a 7, it's underneath the DC I have to beat for Bloodlust, because of the DC 8.
No.
That's the funniest thing. Kid, I had no idea we're leveling up. I had no idea. It's just funny.
Damn.
No, actually, what it is we open it up and you're just licking the blood off the bathtub, and we're like, what?
No,
You okay, bro?
That's funny how this just worked out. That's crazy. Oh man, fucking the werewolf form's gonna be fucking so good.
I don't know if I actually specified, but I feel like Babette was probably the first one in the shower.
No, you did.
Yeah.
You quick.
Yeah, he did.
Good.
He said he took a shower immediately. It's like, we must get hit the shower immediately.
Fuck this. I just sat in garbage for like an hour.
Yeah,
I'm covered in blood. And yeah, Babette has she kind of seems like she's reacting similarly to you guys, but at this point she's like annoyed as opposed to like traumatized. We're gonna have to deal with that way in the future when she kind of starts to come around and realize, wow, I've done a lot of terrible things. So that's gonna be a fun time.
I literally, I can't. It's so funny. I'm laughing because I was literally thinking in my head. The reason I was like reading while I was rolling that wisdom save, that I was like thinking like, am I becoming like? So I was thinking in his head, it's like, am I becoming more monstrous as this keeps going on? Like, I'm not gonna like. I killed a lot of people, and somehow I don't feel honestly bad about it. And it's just like, am I a monster? And at exactly the level.
Am I a monster? Turns into a monster.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so. That's what was laughing my ass off. I was like, oh my god, this is poetic fucking justice right now happening.
The dice, that story.
I know, right? And it was just under the freaking bloodlust threshold, which is DC 8. Oh my god. Oh, this is gonna be freaking hilarious.
Hmm.
It's gonna be great, but also hilarious. Just how it worked out.
Arthur has a tranquilizer dart ready for you.
Yeah, just a tranquilizer dart to
That
knock him
here,
out.
boy. Didn't think I was gonna be using this, but I am.
Oh my god, I can't. That's funny as hell, honestly. I love when it's like this perfectly timed things like that. Just happen to be like that.
Interesting.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, now you're gonna see what the wolf lord means in my last name. By the way, who still has inspiration right now? I do.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you used to channel divinity. That's right.
I don't know. Does Armin? I don't think I.
I
used
think you
it, did
do.
I?
I don't think you
No,
would
I-
have.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have. There's no like persuasion checks or anything like that. You had to spin it on, so that's good.
Mark it on my sheet because I forgot to do it the first time around.
Mm. Oh man,
Just been
I'm
holding
looking
on
at
to
those
that.
+8s and +9 to hit. Oh yes.
Meanwhile,
What's
I'm
your-
happy with the +7, +8.
That's what was before.
Where's our proficiency? Okay, I got that.
Yeah, it should automatically update if you just update the level you're at.
Yeah, I'm just glancing on where everything is on my sheet. So I'm like, wait, where is that?
Mm.
I mean, Hanu with 5th level spells would be great. Just saying.
Yeah. She has 5th level slots, just no spells.
Oh yeah, Hanu. I don't have calm emotions anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Yep.
I got it right now. Gotcha.
It's gonna be funny.
Hanu. I mean, honestly, that was a good send off for those features because no more Rebuke the Violent and no more sleep either.
Yeah, no, it was a good send
Yeah,
off.
no,
Did really
no.
well.
Yeah.
But now the time requires something different, Simon.
Yeah, no, if this is a space where you guys look at, like, how bloodied you all are, and all the things you've gone through, and knowing that you're about to go into something that is going to be a lot tougher than the things you've fought in thus far.
I bet
And
just becomes a
that's
little
where
shit.
you're stealing your resolve and thinking of tactics that you've been thinking of, for some time, and changes that you've thought about making that you think might be necessary now, and this is it. Moment.
Yeah, no, it's the whole getting the beginning of that tier 3 shit, man. The tier 3 shit I'm thinking. It's like some like these are tough fights we're probably gonna die on if we're not careful. Some of us might die.
Don't worry. Every time there's a charm effect, I'm gonna ask. Or every time there's a wisdom save, I'm like, is this a charm effect? No? Fuck.
Mm.
I think it's actually fitting that Babette's getting panache now because she's finally like kind of coming into her own with all of the bullshit that you guys have brought her along on, and so she's finally starting to get her smarmy little shithead self again.
Yeah, and I just find it funny that now Zarman and any of his allies within 10 feet of him cannot be charmed now.
Mm.
You try testing it on one of us, and Zarman's nearby. Fucking Zarman, get out of here! I want to try it.
My gosh, you've always ruined my fun.
I'll be.
And it specifies allies.
Oh my god! Before I even get into this shit, I'm gonna go to the bathroom so I can
I
think
know, yeah, you
about
just
this
get
shit.
all the things you need to get out of the way. Just gonna fucking kumbaya it.
Yes, that is very Babette. That cat is the essence of Babette. Walks into a club with a bunch of like crazy fucking weapons, sits down at the boss's table. You wanted to talk?
Well, we all know why we had to level up, is because of it. Afterwards, we're gonna have to meet Roxy, and we're not ready for her. We're all not ready for her. What are you talking about a W2 form? Huh?
Eliza is so ready for Roxy.
A 1099?
I
What is
Rachel
that?
am so ready for Roxy. Babette is not going to be ready for Roxy. Eliza is going to have so much fun watching Babette interact with Roxy.
Yeah, like Eliza specifically, when she hired Roxy, thought about how that was going to work with you and her, and is excited.
As Arthur steps in off the back patio, you all relax just a little bit. He's like, "It happened."
We found out a lot of information with something called a computer. We went into the
Eliza,
darkest corners of a web.
Eliza would at that point explain like in a lot more detail everything that she saw. Like she'd explain all of it.
Did you tell about what was on her employee sheet?
Yes.
Babette will.
No, she would have told Babette that later. Actually, she wouldn't
Okay.
that necessarily. She would have just like in that with the employee sheet thing. She would have just kind of like brushed over and just said that she saw herself or her employee file and that she was listed as missing in action and stuff like that.
She's
Okay.
Red Blade. As you're talking about her, she's drumming her fingers on the table a little bit more. She glances over to you to see if you're ready to have round 2 of this conversation. An eyebrow raises up slightly and down.
She's gonna just keep looking at you like with her normal face, like she can tell you want to carry it on and she's waiting.
Listen, I'm not really good at talking about this stuff and being direct. It's a habit that I've carried over from my previous career. But there's something that's been bothering me, and I'm starting to draw a little bit more connections, but I don't want to accuse anybody who is innocent. Okay? I just want to get that right off the bat.
Liz is raising her eyebrow now.
But you were just mentioning Marvesi Institute, that same person, or at least somebody who's associated with them, and then you saw somebody else at the, in Hearthvine with that. What? Tate looks down at the table and looks back up. What is your cousin doing? Has she
When?
been visiting your family when you were there? Did Aunt mention that she was visiting? She looked like she just wanted to explore, but usually, at least in common sense for me, is if I know that family's around, I would visit my family first. They have connections, or they have at least a safe haven for me to go. Where is your cousin?
Chance, do I know?
You're referring to her cousin Valerie, correct?
Yes.
Oh. Who's that? Sorry.
Valerie, you haven't seen since the airship crash. But your cousin Valerie, you have one of your aunts is got 2 children, a son and a daughter, who are both close to your age. The son has this red hair. You guys briefly met him down in the cistern beneath Port Valiant. He was hanging out in that library that was ran by the information broker. And your sister Valerie, she's... I'll pop her picture up because it might help refresh. But Valerie Maravesi, add to stage. This is your cousin Valerie. Valerie was in Port Valiant. She's from Port Valiant. Her and her brother both were born there. She evidently dropped out of college there. Her brother, your other cousin teased her about it a lot, for the fact that, she's just a terrible student. She's a social butterfly. You know that she gets along with just about everybody. She was also there when you guys were having that conversation with Killam about his vision of the apocalypse, and you guys had that whole apocalypse vision of what happened to Port Valiant. She was there during that conversation, so she was in that room. She was the one who went and told Adamar about everything she had heard there. And then Adamar took your uncle Matthias, who, in your vision of the future, and that apocalypse, he had been a Death Knight, who had been part of the Cult of Asmodeus. Not the Cult of Asmodeus, sorry. The Cult of Orcus. And as his memories had been wiped so it seemed, and he had no idea of what it was, and he seemed to think that he was innocent, but gave himself up willingly and has been sitting in the prison in Fort Valiant ever since. She decided to travel with you guys when you went on the airship because she was like, I'm bored with Fort Valiant. You guys seem like you're going to exciting new places. I love going to exciting new places. I'll go with you guys. And then the airship crashed, and she ended up on the beach with Victor, and then Victor disappeared, and you guys haven't seen her since. She said that she was gonna lounge about Auvale and shit like that, hit up some wineries and stuff, but that she would try and keep in touch. But you know your cousin, she doesn't keep in touch very often. Your experiences with Valerie kind of have always given the impression that she's a very flighty person, very bad at keeping her promises, but mostly just seems to be a bit of a party girl.
But okay, so yeah, I would.
Nothing about her clicks is anything suspicious to you.
Okay.
Not up to this point.
So I'd look at Hanu and I'd say, well, she bounces around. Why?
You know, I do this thing where I pretend I'm an idiot, because mostly I am, and I like to be truthful to everybody, but I act up a lot. More, and I like crank up the volume, I guess, so to speak, that I've heard that term actually on the street a few times. Anyways, the few times that I've had conversations with her, something's been off. I can't really place it, but it could be anything else. I'm just kind of curious. Okay, I just wanted to get that out. It's been bothering me for a bit. But, yeah,
What was off? I mean, can you be more specific?
well, number one, when I first told her, made that joke about, I have a bounty on my head, please don't turn me in, she mentioned something, but the tone was slightly reminiscent and kind of coy. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but she plays a game. I don't know what it's at, what angle it is, but she seemed a little bit... I can't explain it, but she seemed very keen on figuring out new aspects on this chessboard and focusing on us. Then she sat in on the conversation, and then she revealed the hand, even though we were still parsing that information. Something just doesn't line up.
Has Matt ever met Valerie?
You would not like growing up very much. You might have seen her once, when you guys were young teenagers. And your experiences with her back then would have been the same that
Liza
Liza
had.
had. Kind of a.
Did she remind?
She's kind of a
Yeah.
very
Did she
fun
remind that of herself, kind of?
A little bit, yeah. She's definitely likes to be coy. When the word coy is applied to her, definitely sounded right. When Hanu said that she's kind of coy, seems to she likes to play a game. Sounds like it lines up with her personality.
Oh, okay.
But when you were younger, those games would have been, the same games all teenagers play.
Mhm.
So there was nothing ever deep seeming about her. She seems like a fairly shallow person.
Yeah, Eliza would. Yeah, she'd just be like, she's just kind of coy in general. I mean, she's kind of like that, but if you're feeling off, I don't know, I could go look her up on the computer.
Maybe. That would be appreciated. It's just, as I said, this is just me in general. I could be totally off. I could, I'm paranoid.
No,
I'm very
you should
paranoid.
trust your gut on this, Hanu. I mean, you're a seer. Anyways, I've never known a Valerie I could trust.
Jesus.
I wouldn't necessarily describe her as trustworthy either, but
It's just, I'm constantly comparing things to how things are on the Coterie Coast, so it's just even if I wanted to go bar hopping or whatever, I would at least go to a place that I recognize first. Because family helps each other out, she just totally avoided that. This is based off of my own cultural perspective. Things are different in Avil, I understand that, but it's just, why was she so interested in listening in?
Chance, do I have any kind of insight on that, or I literally just is that person?
Not,
It just reminds
Yeah,
me of
I
a
mean,
spy, okay?
one
At
of
that
those
point?
things, like, it's so close to home that it's almost in a little bit of a blind spot.
Yeah, it's outside
But
perspective.
at all, in that regard, it would have just kind of just been like oh, Valerie's just, following us around because we're the most interesting thing in the room, and that's what Valerie does. She just, like, flutters towards the most interesting thing that's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, maybe I am reading too much into that then.
Well, I'll go look it up, just in case.
Okay.
I mean, well, yeah. I don't know how accurate what we're seeing is,
It's just,
but still.
Yeah, you go look it up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get
Type
that off my
in
chest.
Valerie Maravesi, and it pops up for quite a few results, most of them seeming to link her towards the Maravesi Institute. She seems to have multiple advanced degrees. She seems to be a doctor. A doctor specifically of, like, very complicated scientific fields. You're not even understanding what these fields are. They're just gibberish words.
She seems smarter than she looks on, that's what threatens me.
The word quantum is in like 3 of her degrees.
Yeah.
Liza's just gonna look over, like, off in the distance and be like, maybe this is definitely a different dimension.
No, I think she's... I know what an act is, and she's very good at it.
So much easier to play dumb. Like,
She-
if you ever want to get into a place, you just act like a ditz, and they'll just ignore you.
It's no offense here, but it's perfect spy infiltration mentality.
Absolutely is.
So I just know that because my ancestor, he married into a spy family, so he knows all this kind of things, what the women used to do in Jaula, because everybody kind of skimmed over them. They listened to everything. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna do some push-ups.
Nodding along with what he was saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn off this energy, okay? Yeah, sure. And she starts doing some exercises. Like,
Eliza's gonna.
multiple
Sorry.
push-ups where she's really low descent and then quick burst up. It's like static push-ups. Looks agonizing, but she seems to be okay and calming down afterwards.
Liza's also gonna look up Maravesi Castle.
You get some historical anecdotes. A lot of this is stuff that you've actually researched yourself. They just seem to have uploaded those same files that you did in your early research online. Looking at the fact that it's literally all there, that was like 6 months of work for you at one point in time, and it just took you 6 seconds.
Eliza's irritated by that.
Looking a little bit salty, and Babette's just like following you around. He loves
Eliza's-
watching you try and figure shit out.
She's just gonna, like, stand back up from the computer and be like, is anyone in the shower? I need a shower.
Zill's been in there for quite some time. I don't know.
Okay.
Actually, let me go. Hey, she'll knock on the door. That thing I was saying about a water genasi, I didn't mean for you to turn into one. You doing okay? Zale?
You don't hear anything.
Oh gosh, I think he drowned.
Uh,
We should probably see if he's okay.
Yeah, is the door open? Do you lock it?
I'll check just in case he's
Oh yeah, that's right.
decent.
Okay.
Knocked himself unconscious.
Okay, sure.
Hope.
I got my shape water ready in case I need to make some floors
Right.
slippery.
Knocks on the door really loudly. Alright, nerd, I'm coming in. He opens up the door.
The lights are off, by the way. And so we can see though he first thing you see is off is that he's kind of been over. He's not in the bath. He looks like he took a shower and then he's kind of leaning forward, facing away from the door.
You're not level 9 yet. You felt it
Not
coming
yet.
on. I'm gonna clarify this.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
did
what I'm saying. That's
feel
why
a pool.
he's not transformation or anything, but he's still like him, but he's kind of just sitting there, kind of like he seems like he's spaced out.
Is he decent?
He has least pants on.
She'll blindly swing her hand out and shape water to smack you upside the head. If there's any water to be shaped. So probably from the toilet.
No, just still a little bit of so kind of shakes his head, kind of gets up. Oh, hi, Arthur. When'd you get here?
Thought you drowned. I bet it's from outside the
Just a
room.
few moments ago.
No, didn't drown.
We're out here doing conspiratorial conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I need your big brain. Come on.
And kind of he picks up the shirt. He better put it back on. So he's just in his pants and kind of walking around. He's definitely like he seems like he's thought about something. Kind of deep in thought. Kind of a little bit distracted right now. Very absent mind right now.
Alright, come on, let's go eat something. We'll probably.
I'm not hungry. And he walks up.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't care
an
what you
elf
said.
may only need 4 hours of sleep. But they still need to eat just the same as everybody else does.
Exactly. Yeah, she'll
I don't want you passing out in the middle of our battle.
grab you underneath the armpits and kind of, in a half hug, walk you backwards. We're going to eat.
Fine.
Come on. I have so many beans that I opened up, I don't know what to do with them.
Barney's bean collection.
So, as you guys gather around this table for a moment, Arthur goes, "It's been a day, hasn't it?"
You can do that again.
It's been a day, hasn't it?
I bet gives him like a little flick on the nose.
Eliza's gonna go take a shower.
Before you go, I don't normally go for these things. I'm not much of the faith types, so you mind helping me out here? He looks at you, Eliza. that family prayer of yours. I don't know, I have the feeling that we might need a little prayer.
Well, okay.
Mind leading us?
Yes. Eliza is gonna take a second to remember her family prayer. JK, it's me. Okay, I had it written down. I can't find it, but she's just gonna start reciting it.
I think it might actually be in.
Hold on. Let me look at Roll20 real
It
quick.
is in stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I copied it on
If you go to
Roll20.
if you go to the stuff page, there's
The stuff. It's
hashtag
on.
stuff
Here.
right there. So if you just click that little thing right there, it'll bring you to the stuff page on Discord.
It's June
And if you
20th.
go scroll up, there will be a little block text in there.
It's the Hear Our Prayers,
Mhm.
Ancestors of My Blood.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah. Hear our prayers, ancestor of my blood, the forgotten saint who defends us in battle. Be our strength against the insidious dark, against shadows and of light. Come to the aid of all kindred, whom the court imbues with sovereignty in high places and raises from the depths of despair. Fight this day the true battle as you fought before. Share in us the blood that was spilled in the unerring, and just struggle against the vile fiends of this world, so that we might share in the path of redemption. May any blood be the blood
I
of
lose.
The
The blood of sacrifice. The blood of cowardice. Yeah, I was trying to go off of memory.
Is that remembers this?
In
Exactly.
sacrifice and
I
Blood I
remember the
sanctity.
lose.
last
Be
part.
the blood of cowardice.
By our hearts we are vigilance.
Would Babette know this?
Protect our spark and war. Peace.
Protect our spark in war and peace.
In our thoughts we are
We are
true.
true.
Reveal to us the light when we
When
are
we-
in darkness.
In our blood
In our
we are
blood we are
brave.
brave.
Hide our
Hide our
blades,
blades
so we may protect the meek.
the meek. In sacrifice, sanctity.
In cowardice, redemption.
I had my thing scrolled up, so I didn't see that last
Mhm.
Yeah,
one.
no problem.
Matt and Zill's trying to hijack your lead, and even though it was specifically Eliza told to lead it.
No, you're good.
No,
I
this
just got
is-
confused
this is-
for a minute.
That's just me under my breath. He was saying it because he was repeating it.
Well, Zale he would know it too as like part
Yeah,
of
he was-
or
No, the three of you know it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
there's
as
a
this
lot.
prayer washes over you all, the brief moment of silence passes between each of you. You look up. There's no light that fills the room, no song of holiness, no indication anybody is looking at you other than yourselves. In each other's eyes, you know you've got everybody you need right around you. As your eyes meet and you nod, shore up resolve for the fight ahead. Each of you settle in, and after the other, uneasy rest. That is where we will pick up next week.
Okay. Before we go to bed, Eliza's gonna go up to Babette and just be like, "Hey, can I sleep next to you, like old times?"
I think that would be ideal.
Okay. And she sleeps next to Babette.
You all
Yeah.
shower and get cleaned.
Babette takes up most of the bed.
Heckin'
Eliza
cat.
respects that.
Kind of will sob in the shower with her clothes on, then be like, Sale, I need you to help me go find something on the internet.
Zell was already.
Mm.
Zell was back on that, but Zell would wait until everybody's asleep. At least the people who do sleep.
She would,
Um,
she would ask you
so
to...
you could ask them beforehand.
Yeah, she would ask you, because, to go search up Bedawang and see what happened to that island. And then...
Bedouin?
Yeah, Bedawang.
0 results.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Interesting.
And the thing with Zell will look up when everybody fell asleep, so he was kind of by himself, so for probably maybe Arthur.
Arthur would be up.
Mhm. He will look up Wolford. Because now this is...
Pops up several 100,000 views, all in reference to the Paradoxes and the film franchise.
Oh, wait, before then, she'd be
You,
like,
it would take like weeks of scrolling through all
to
of
find
the
something.
stuff, the pop culture stuff related to you guys. In many ways, it's harder to research any facts about you guys in this timeline because you're so famous.
Because we're so
There's gonna be
famous, yeah.
shit tons of boards of people just talking about you guys.
theorizing,
It's like
or...
theorizing fan
fits,
theories and
yeah.
stuff.
She'd be like, wait,
Barney's already narrowed down several fan theories that are popular based off of his interactions with you guys. He's pretty much ascertained that the alternate universe theory is probably the most likely one. Because it's been a pretty popular theory on this one that there were alternate universes that you guys traveled to and from. Lines that are in the movies.
hey, Zale, do I look cool?
So kind of swivels in the chair and kind of looks at you.
Yeah.
And he's like, he smiles. He's like, "You always look cool."
Oh, okay. No, seriously though, do I look cool in the future?
When he looks at the picture, he pulls up a picture of Audrey in the future. I mean, they look pretty damn cool.
She narrows her eyes at you. I don't trust your opinion. Dramatically walks off, but she's
Goes and
smoking.
wakes up that.
There's just a sigh. It's just like I tried.
I know.
Whatever.
There's a little smirk on her expression in her eyes as she leaves. Has that overdramatic hair flip as she leaves. Oh.
What was the name? What was Kumo's real name? Because Hanyu said it to me. Was it Kumo?
Mosuchi.
Yeah.
Kumosuchi. I type in Kumosuchi. Does anything pop up?
You type in his name, you get pretty decent amount of results. There seems to have been a couple of people that have had that name, actually, so it's not even like a wholly unique name by this point in time. Seems like there's more than one Kumos. They're all from Zhao Law. One of them appears to be from Omido. Another one lives in Avalon. But none of it really like stands out as particularly noteworthy.
Oh, okay.
Any Kumosuchi was like kind of cross-reference of the 1930s around that time?
Typing in and narrowing it down to the 1930s, you do see that there was a Kumosuchi that was executed. Curiously enough, they were executed a total of 13 times. Or 13 separate records of them being executed. Seems like it didn't stick.
What time was this execution? What,
About
like,
the 1930s into the 1940s. First one was 1939. Then there was another one in 1940. Another one in 1942. Seems they tried to execute this person a total of 5 times in 1945. public
Also-
executions as well. So like this person was like legitimately seen to be killed multiple times. Doesn't seem
But
to
somehow he kept coming back. So, kind of like first browse outlets.
And death by firing squad, death by hanging, death by being poisoned, death by beheading. They've drawn and quartered him. They incinerated his entire body, drowned him.
What was the last attempt?
The last attempt was the incineration.
That awkward moment when Hanu
That
actually
one was
noted
overseen. That one was overseen by the Yellowmite government. Seems that they incinerated him in Yellum.
What was his crimes? Does it say what crimes he was committing?
War crimes.
War
Lots
crimes.
of war crimes.
She notices the
Keep in mind, you got to keep in mind as well, the war was won by Yellum and Omido here, so like that.
Yeah,
it's
no,
their-
keep that in mind. Like some information
You
can
don't,
be.
you don't get a lot of details on a lot of these things. They were tried for war crimes, and summarily attempted to be executed a couple of times.
Yeah, don't know how much the truth is. I mean, that's what I was coming to. It's just like, it's definitely fucking odd. And I mean, it's probably this information is being filtered because they won the war.
She slowly approaches because she remembered something by noticing your expression and energy has changed. I don't want to ask, but you want to write it down? Theorize later?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you see already he has his notebook out, his second one, where he keeps a lot of that. Like you know this one. It's the conspiracy one he has,
Yeah.
and he's he kind of just like looking at it, not like look at the screen, and writing without looking. Because I mean, he just he just remembers where to write and everything. So he's writing down the information as he's going, and so Zell kind of like shakes his head at that. Very odd.
I don't know, maybe he has, like... Well, maybe he learned how to do shutter space and whatnot, or maybe he has clones or something, who knows, at this point.
I mean, there's anything's possible, really.
Oh.
And you just had a device read your guys' minds
Yeah,
to project
I
images
was
into
gonna say,
revision.
anything's
Yeah, it's
possible.
like-
That's what that was.
Who the
like,
fuck knows at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck knows at this point?
Just the weirdest thing we've come across
what?
today? Who knows?
Here's the thing,
Hard to rank now.
I'm pretty sure there'd be people who look at the moon and say nobody clearly could have landed on that. Fabricated. So who knows what's, real or not.
Are you saying Alvale faked the moon landing?
Also,
no,
Avalon, technically.
Avalon, yeah,
Avalon
that'd be
landing.
Avalon.
Fair.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like,
if
who...
Babette failed that wisdom save, she also would have
Did
taken.
you want to research the moons?
Unless you promote me, like
Yeah, she
it's
will
as an
push-
actual joke.
Yeah, no, she would. She's like, yeah, come on, let's do it, let's do it. The moon-
Okay, so looks up the moons.
Listen, we all came here because of the phases of the moons. What's up? There has to be some research done on this stuff.
Yellum has a military outpost on the moon that they've had ever since they landed there, with the Avalonian Space Initiative, ASI. ASI landed on the moon in 1969. In the month of Julasol. So the 20th of Julasol, 1969.
When did we go missing?
The 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 70s?
She would.
So this happened while we're still around. Okay.
She will lean in and whisper. It's not really a secret, but just because I really don't want to say it to the group without having more substantial information, but I need to get sand of the moon, so I'm pretty sure that's a lie. We are the first ones on the moon.
You see a slight smirk come about as though, and we're definitely like kind of just frown on his face. 6 isn't frown. He does a little smirk.
Good to
And then-
keep that date to the books.
1969. I mean, to be fair, honestly, I feel like Kelly can get us out there in no
Probably.
time.
Yeah. It's so okay.
As you guys are discussing your fucking lunar expedition fucking plans, this is like, guys, like, you realize that this is what this campaign has become, right?
Yeah!
You guys, like...
Listen, there's cats on the moon. I have to prove that they originated from there. I was given a vision.
I mean, we got like 2 really smart artificers, a lot of intelligence, a lot of like high wisdom characters. I mean,
Listen,
And you can also just like magically teleport yourselves there. There's
Mm.
magic that's all doing the same shit.
it's
Yep.
just Takara has a good security system, so get off. No.
yeah.
So that's why
The
she's
moon monsters.
curious. Yeah, she's curious, but because yeah, she was told. Yeah, she would have told you in person that And I first was trying to run around this topic to say maybe it's like some kind of story or some kind of play on words that have to find stand for Moon Bay or something. But the more that I think about it, and knowing that Demetrius has information and he's very unsettling, in the ways that somebody needs to be unsettling, if I think about that, I feel
You
like we actually have to aim for the stars.
Thinking of that, I type in Demetrius on the computer.
Oh yeah. Demetrius. They didn't say brilliant pillar.
Demetrius?
They didn't say brilliant pillar exists, so I think he goes by another name, right? She would give the clan name that he said.
Type it in, and the word brilliant pillar actually is right next to the results that you find with his name. Except for Brilliant Pillar appears to be a terrorist organization,
No way.
and he was merely executed in the 60s as being leader of the Brilliant Pillar.
Wait,
terror.
click
He
on
was
that.
executed by Barack, by the way.
Oh.
They were like best friends for life there. Something's off.
Yeah, kind of.
Click on it.
I go on Brilliant Pillar.
You click on that thing at her recommendation. That's like you guys are looking and just click on it. If you click on the link, it actually is for a forum of people like discussing just crazy fights and stuff that they've got, and this one seems to have in the conversations that's going on here actually have a video, and as it plays, it's about a 45-second clip that shows a building, like a large tower. It's hard to tell exactly where it is. All of the videos are in black and white, but the video shows this tower collapsing as a lightning bolt kind of crashes down through it, and there's somebody in the video going, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" and they're just panicking and they're shaky cam for a moment, and then you see as a figure goes flying by the camera and crashes through one of these walls. The video itself has been edited so that it still frames through that position and actually circles around the figure, and the whole thing seems to be discussing the fact that he wasn't actually executed in public, that he had already been, or that he wasn't executed privately the way they said, that he'd actually been killed in a battle. So the news reports that he had been captured and then he was executed in an official capacity. But this video and all people discussing it in this forum seem to be saying that it was no, it was totally this really epic battle, like really fucking crazy. And they seem to be theorizing that that person that just got fucking, that tower crashed, and then out of the smoke of that tower crashing, somebody gets flung right out of it, and it does appear to be Demetrius.
On that thought, I'm gonna look up.
The mere way that he's flying through that air is so ragdollish that you're fairly certain every bone in his body is broken.
Yeah.
In that frame.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably already dead.
Probably dead. He's just. I look up Rock on
The
this.
Rock. You get a bunch of things for comic books. You get a bunch of like news reports and stuff. You see some pictures of the guy. He's this big, old, intimidating guy. Stands like heads taller than most other people. Broad-shouldered, bronze skin. He's got this this really kind of like blackish kind of scaled armor, very modernish looking though. And he's got these metal bands that look like they're like across his head. That look like they're like inlaid into his head because he's got this smooth bald head with these strips of metal bands that seem like they're like inlaid into his head, and these crackling electricity coming out of his eyes. It looks extremely intimidating, very stern. You don't see him smiling in any of these pictures. He seems to be somewhere between like a powerful military force, and something of like a cultural icon. Right? People seem to view him as being like a hero. He does save a lot of people, fight a lot of bad guys, breaks up crime organizations. A lot of the news clips and stuff seem to be talking about him breaking up like smuggling operations throughout the world.
Yet he has a terrorist organization that goes with his name, or at least his image.
That's what I was thinking too. Is this again?
Some...
Yellow won the war. We don't know how much of this is just honestly propaganda at this point.
I don't know. This doesn't seem like him. Brock had warmth to him. No.
Does he have those band on his head?
No, he didn't. Search up his origins.
Yeah, search up his origins.
It shows that he came from the Stygian Republic. That he joined their military at a young age, rose up through the ranks, and ended up being, while he was nothing more than just a lowly foot soldier that they had largely disregarded because of the fact that he had no family name or anything like that. He'd come into the military as an orphan, and came into the military as an orphan and helped with this big battle. And he was a nobody. He wasn't even like an actual soldier on the battlefield. They didn't let nameless people fight on the battlefields. But this fortress that he was stationed at in Stygia actually ended up being attacked during the war, and he made a name for himself, having defeated these people. Pretty much saved the entire fortress by himself.
That definitely doesn't add up.
It doesn't line up with the timeline either. He was your timeline. He's already famous.
Yeah, exactly.
In 1939. In this one, he didn't become anybody until 1939. He seemed to have been literally cleaning and doing kitchen work for years and years and years inside of the Stygian Republic. Is pretty much a military slave.
I feel like him.
So Zell really thinks about this for a second. So
Demetrius?
It seems like. Hmm. So it seems like this timeline we're in is not just. Because this has been what I've been thinking is the choices our future selves would make. I was thinking the choices we made so far would stay, and the future choices we haven't yet made led to this different
I...
timeline. But this right here,
It branched off before.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
But where?
Well, Barak... main motivation was to find Demetrius. But it doesn't make any sense that you'd be searching for him in Stitchu.
I look at Lithoria.
You get a bunch of stuff for the Lothlorien Reserve. Seems that it was rehabilitated into a verdant forest in 1972.
Who was the ones who did it? What organization?
It was a joint project, actually, between several nations, including Jaula, Omido, Yellam, Avalon, Aveo, but all underneath the new collective.
New collective.
Pretty much,
Like,
it was a sign of them working peacefully together now.
like a UN. Okay.
She's gonna plop her head on top of yours and just type. Okay, just hear me out now before your brain goes into other conspiracy modes because I am tired. And she'll type in very slowly, Hanu Storm Conscious top 10 tips, fitness tips. Hit center. After watching you use this keyboard.
Nothing comes up.
What? I gotta get on that. I'm about to
Sounds
change
like-
history. Zale.
Sounds like he just looked at Hanu, kind of just like, what the hell?
I'm about to change history, Zale. There will be a top 10 list.
Alright.
She starts walking away to
Sure.
go to sleep. To rest.
When you have a moment, Chance, I sent you something in PMs.
I will check.
Yeah, she needs to go take a long rest. She'll let Sale give her all the information that he finds. She's gonna go meditate.
Oh, okay. So they write down the timeline. Can Zell, and if I need you to check this, I really definitely do. Can
You
Zell
get a-
cross-reference
Give me
the
just a
different?
second. Give
Oh,
me
go
just
ahead.
a moment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's reading Babette's thing,
I
probably.
gotta respond. Yeah, I gotta respond to something.
Oh,
real
yeah,
quick for that.
She'll peek her head over. Is there a top 5 exercise tips?
No, honey. There's nothing
I
like
say
it.
that out.
Hanu is lazy. Eh? What?
What? I gotta change that.
You know, there's this it says actually this fan theory that Hanu was actually a lazy bum. I don't know why.
What? No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Said she was the paradox of laziness. It's very odd.
I gotta change that right away. And she'll go back to doing her push-ups until she gets tired. It's on the chair, so her legs are
Right.
propped up. She's
Hanu Stormcatch never accomplishes anything because she doesn't know how to sleep. No.
oh boy,
Wow.
I'm gonna show them.
Oof. Oof.
See you, Sarah.
Alright, take care.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Oof. He never
Yeah.
accomplished anything.
She'll,
Yeah, Zarma went to bed as soon as we got here and would just be up the last 2 hours of the long rest. You know, do the shower, do some self-reflecting.
yeah.
I mean,
She's just
Doesn't-
meditating, honestly. She's not.
Zell would
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, he'll do his like 4 hours and be right back on the computer again, just like looking up stuff.
Yeah. That's why she's like, I'm just gonna do my long-term meditation because I'm not a nerd. Apparently, I'm lazy. I can't stand that.
Honey Stormcotch died early on because she was sleep deprived. Oh,
What?
you need to prevent that. Go to bed.
Uh, honestly, we just woke up like not too long ago, like a few hours ago. So she's meditating. Stuff that they used to teach in the monk temple. I'm at the monk temple, in Bedawang, doing some monk meditation stuff for religious purposes. So she's just zoned in.
I like how right now Zell is just me when I wake up like on a weekend and afternoon when I'm like checking stuff for like homework and computer shit. He's just no shirt, just in pants, and just on the computer with his hair down.
Furiously Googling.
Yeah, basically Googie like research notes and shit like that. So this is me right now.
Actually, when Zarban wakes up, he will find a note tucked into one of his pockets that just says that's actually a curry recipe. And Honey will put a little note saying, "This is the only dish I actually know how to make. I'll teach it to you."
Oh. Also, there were definitely Zell would have at one point covered if Barney had any blanket around Fee and Zarman.
Yeah, I already put one blanket on Zarman, but Fee, she'd be like, "I only have one blanket. No."
Yeah. You put one on Fee, and he kind of like makes sure like Zarman's good, and he kind of like tuck in more so he's nice and cozy. At one point,
And that's the point. Zell would notice that, Zarman isn't really breathing in his sleep. It looks like it, but, mess with the airways. Seems like he is because you're disturbing him a little bit when you do it, but, just not actively doing it, looks like, but he is.
mm-hmm.
She would be not too far away from Livy, so she'd be on the ground meditating.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like he'd go back in the chair after doing that, but he's just kind of like there's definitely like a look of concern, but knowing that you're still breathing, he's not in like panic. I need to wake you up mode.
She was poking you around earlier, showing like, listen, it moves. The paper moves, but his chest doesn't. What's up? What's up with that? Thanks.
Does your chest move? It's like Zell was too.
I mean, just looking at him now.
No, like Zell probably walked up when he's in the blanket and kind of like put his hand on your chest. This.
I mean, doesn't really seem like it. It's just whenever he sleeps now, he just looks dead. But he's actually still awake. Or like he's still alive, he looks dead when he sleeps now.
Is there a heartbeat?
You have to like really feel for it.
Yeah, that's what she ended up.
But then you'd be disturbing him while he sleeps.
That's what she ended up doing. She would have told you this by the side of like she did take his pulse and he roused him awake and was like, "Sorry about that."
Was it slow, or was it like normal?
Actually, I don't
Normal.
know. Michael. Was it slow?
Was it? I mean, she felt it. What is it, Mike? Is it slow?
I mean, it's a normal pulse. It's just, she had to push hard enough to actually wake him up.
Yeah, so I think because he was in the middle of sleep, it would have been slow, and then with that, it kind of went to like a faster kind of awake pace, and then went back to slow. So she's like, "Sorry."
That, and of course the weird sound Zarman makes when he wakes up
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So I'm like,
like he's gasping for air.
okay.
Right, it's like a thing that just fucking for the first time ever got air in a long time type of thing, but
Yeah, there's definitely a sense before Hanu like went to sleep and Zell was sitting in the chair, kind of because you kind of been in the same room. Has Zarman ever done this before? I know Paul Valiant and recently in Onfield, you guys were kind of rooming together. This is going to Hanu.
No. I usually sleep.
Usually Zarman would pass out a little bit after Hanu.
Yeah, I usually sleep really early. I wake up really early. It's a habit of mine. So, not that I
Yeah, they
notice.
share a very similar schedule, so not long
Sorry.
enough to actually start looking at it weird.
Start looking, yeah, gotcha.
It wasn't until like there was a moment where she sat down, wanted to make sure he wasn't having a night terror, that she's like, wait a second.
Right, no, it's because everybody's like discussing shit in the kitchen. Hanu's just hovering, looking. It's like, wait, somebody's moving. No. So I'm making sure there's no irregular movement. Wait, there's no movement. Like his chest isn't even moving for breathing.
Does he have a pulse? Oh my gosh, you're awake. That was a weird sound. Sorry, I just noticed something weird. Okay, go back to sleep. It's like internally freaking out, like, what the fuck? I don't think there's anything medical in my medical journals about this. Belisage would know. Belisage knows everything. Clearly, I have to go ask her about this whenever I find her.
Out of character, that's just the shadow magic quirk.
Yeah, I know.
But it's enough to cause panic.
I can't wait until the CIA go raid Sparny's place. She had so many search words appear. You'll learn.
Yeah, so many keywords. I mean, he doesn't stay at one place too long. He probably move out pretty soon.
I mean, he might need to move out just because he's gonna be broke after a couple days.
Yeah,
of not
probably.
Having a job.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know, these people just walked into my... If you notice, like, I'm pretty sure the Paradoxes came in here and did all that other stuff. Like, okay, you're crazy.
We're at that point where we're not in the same timeline anymore. We're back in ours.
Yeah.
Right, Bernie's all like, the Paradox is where?
Open up, open up! That's our time to leave. Bye.
Yeah, it's also the case for we're going back to like the rocket platform. So it's just like,
okay.
I mean, there's nothing. There's definitely a necessary evil we're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
To get out.
She's like, oh gosh, I don't know if I trust these people with that or what it's gonna end up mucking up. They could probably get fucked up, afterwards. So it might not make a difference, but still, I don't like being cornered, and that's what we were right there. But the other thing too, the thing about Pridwin and Barak, in her mind, she was like, well, Pridwin's death most likely isn't gonna be a public fact, because if it was, then Cal wouldn't have had that all over your heads when he was just saying, I know something. So most likely he knows specifically who did it, but I can't say that off the bat, so clearly Cal did it. Clearly this boy did it. Even though I'm pretty sure he's associated with an assassination.
Became Coney. It'll be fine.
Yeah, so pretty sure he's associated with it. But yeah, knowing that even it's hard for Pridwin to have any searches, it's like, yeah.
Also, I wonder. The thing I wondered, which is the thing I'm gonna look up, is that I'm gonna cross-reference our timeline sheet we've been working on, and look back at the timeline of like searches for certain like events and points.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if there's another point of time that massively changed timeline. Because now I'm looking at anchor points. So that was starting to he's starting to get the form like the theory like, okay, there's definitely anchor points in every timeline, and these anchor points diverge a lot of things and a lot of people. Some very drastic changes.
Actually, at that point, she will, because she did mention, since she did hear a lot about Barak and Demetrius and how they met up, she would give you that date specifically. But with her mind, she's also saying, well, I can probably explain her theory about this in general and when it's appropriate. But the way that she's looking at how the point of Takaroa is saying that there's a knot in time stuck with her So she's saying whatever had to happen with and Drakiesna, that's a very interesting loop. The way that Sheol explains it, she will actually use a knot, but then put a chopstick through it. It's like there's this one dividing thing, and then we have certain events that are reflectant, that whole why she brought up, looking a mirror, reflecting a mirror kind of thing. But something is different on each and every side. She'll probably talk to you, like, quietly about that, because it's still her real conspiracy board thing, so she would have showed you that with her chopstick of, like, that point is reflected over here and over there and over here, but it's linear, or at least perspective of it was linear, but it's wrapped around.
Yeah, Zell was already kind of on the notion too. Like, something's knotted, something's twisted, something's twisting time, either on multiple intervals or one major interval.
So it could be multiple knots, or it just could be one main knot with different threads in it.
Exactly, and that's what Zell was kind of cross-referencing at the point. And he's kind of thinking about what Frederick was talking about with, like, the different, like, we were showcasing the projection and everything.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much, because, I mean, Zell's a lot smarter, so he could tell you exactly what I'm gonna get at with Shad. But yeah, he's pretty much putting what Frederick has told him, and then we talked about the knots and everything, and it's kind of like there's a different, like, a click that's going on in his head right now, and he's pretty much trying to find the knots in time.
We're just getting ready for a presentation, a group presentation, except both of us actually put equal effort into this.
Exactly.
I'm not bitter about that or anything at all, reflecting back. But yeah, so we'll discuss this further on how we can present it to the group. But it's like,
yeah, because it's gonna sound absolutely fucking crazy.
I know, exactly.
I mean,
so I will show visuals as he explains it, guys.
Yeah.
Demonstration of a knot in time. It's like this.
I like the idea that, like, the pictures is just Hanu drawings, and then it's Zell talking about this complicated shit.
Yeah, it would probably be.
Right, it's just there's a little turtle, like, for everything representing a person.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But look at this turtle, it has 2 guns on its back. They call this a Blastoise. Clearly, no.
Yeah.
No, I like that idea. There's a little turtle with, like, an anchor, like, on a knot, on a, like, rope. So this is the convoluted time knot.
Exactly, yeah. It would.
You just do the ship comparison with it.
Probably would make a little tiny comic. Okay. Anyways.
And then the thing what Zell would get at as well is that honestly he's theorizing that this is not natural. Someone is doing it.
Or something.
Someone's
like a god. The gods are aware of it.
The gods are aware of it, but I don't think they're doing this.
They can't do anything about that.
Exactly. So this is some other influence. Some other person who knows time travel, like really knows time travel. I don't think it's Pridwin. That's not his. It seems odd for him. But I don't know. It seems like someone's honestly experimenting with time and, like, certain big events in time, certain focal points, and rearranging certain things.
I mean, we just find out that Barack knows about Shredder Space, so there's a lot of research that's going on. I don't even know what this oh no, I actually do know what quantum means. Yeah, well, anyways, I gotta finish up my sit-ups, and I am gonna go meditate again, and we can talk afterwards, okay?
So I was just in fucking theory fucking research mode.
I was like, yeah, man. See, this is the thing. Is that like this being a time travel campaign, from the very beginning, I wrote out many different leads that cannot actually be followed to their completion if you stay in your own timeline.
Mm-hmm.
You will end up having to employ the shutter space quite a lot to confirm theories and follow leads down as this campaign progresses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this computer right now is being fucking super essential for a few things and putting things together.
Yeah, she would give you a series of dates for you to cross-reference because she's spoken to a few people and gotten those dates, and then she'll be like, I'm gonna finish up my sit-ups and I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah,
And she meditates.
Yeah, because that was very much like cross-referencing different points of time, to the information what happened there exactly.
There would be a good 30 minutes or so where you would actually hear legit snoring from Hana before she wakes up and goes back to meditating. Just.
And Zell's Zell's like intense, like like after he does his his transfer 4 hours, he goes right back into researching.
Okay.
Like
Alright.
he's jotting down, making like his notebook is getting filled right now as he's like illustrating like the couple like lines and like having like drawing like a knot in like time and like having little bulletin points being like
For posterity's sake, she also would have left that knot on a chopstick in front of you just so you can look at it 3D.
Oh yeah, Zella's like
she can't do that in her head like you can, so she's just like, look at this. Alright. Look at my sailor's knot here.
Zell is pretty much like, if he went into his trance, he's basically in his head right now, making like a dream state 3D model of that, and kind of like pulling it apart and then like changing it, and he's starting to certain things he's like definitely feeling. He definitely knows someone's doing this shit on purpose. Doesn't know who yet, but someone is messing with time. Someone's making these knots. He doesn't know what purpose it is, but someone is doing this, or something is doing this.
It's possible that it could just be negative side effect of too many people fucking with shutter space.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
As far as you can see, I mean, from what you've learned so far, is that shutter space has become something that many people know about and are messing with. If you apply that across every timeline, then it's not just one timeline that's doing this. You have to think about the fact that the possibility for that happened in at least several thousand timelines, which means that there are several thousand timelines of people shutter spacing.
Yeah. So it's either
you guys will eventually end up in your timeline dealing with
people
shutter spaced other timelines into your timeline, but that'll be not even necessarily alternate use, but like just alternate
people from different
but I really would love to do alternate versions of ourselves.
Oh man, that's probably gonna happen. That's probably gonna happen at one point in this campaign.
I'm gonna say, if that happens, I will save it for quite some time.
Yeah.
With that, it'd be a while before
alternate bad guy ads. Alternate bad guy ads. Freaking do the whole Justice League thing when you go to the alternate timeline where we're evil.
Guys, I look so cool.
Where you have to get your Barack to fight against this, like another alternate Barack.
Yeah. Oh man.
God.
Yeah.
For hers, it's like that's the one thing that she's also bringing up about threads is that we can all be on the same river and Soul Knotted, or it's just maybe there's a bunch of other threads that spread out and make their own knots, so it's just this weird kind of netting thing. So it's either it's all one line or it's all a net.
It's almost like a web.
I know, right? It's like this interwebbing of the universe. Alright, I'm gonna go.
And some people are trying to break through.
I'm gonna stop the recording. So
Mhm.
Yes.